to President Muhammadu Buhari, led, because they know he's no longer there, led federal government to allow responsible citizens to carry guns such as AK-47 to prevent criminals from attacking harmless Nigerians. Was it not what I said at World Igbo Congress in 2015? This was what I preached on Radio Biafra in 2014. After how many years? About 5 years, so to speak. A governor is saying it. And nobody is charging him with treason. Nobody wants to hang him. Nobody has made an attempt on his life to kill him. I survived 2 assassination attempts. One at Obakala, one when they stormed my house. 2 attempts to kill me. I have the videos. I have not shown you the video of the one at Obakala. Somebody shot it, he was with me. One day I'll ask him to release it. I have survived 2 onslaughts. They were shooting at us. At Obakala, ask Obakala people, they will tell you. Ask the war, they will tell you what happened that very day. They said that we had juju with us. That was why the guns couldn't penetrate. In the videos, you will hear them, you will hear the guns going off. But none of us was hurt. We escaped the assassination attempt 2 times. He has said the same thing that I said in 2015. And he's still alive. People don't reason. That is the problem with a black man. I will keep saying it. Let us leave what Autumn said. Autumn is a good man, the governor of Benue State. Let us go to the Catholic bishops. Are you going to accuse them of treason as well? Is Britain, are you going to accuse Catholic bishops of treason? The same Catholic bishops rose up and said, defend yourselves. Defend yourselves. All of you have seen you have read the news. Is that not correct? Defend yourselves. Catholic bishops have asked Nigerians to rise up and defend themselves against attack by bandits, headsmen, kidnappers, and other violent criminals across the country. Catholic archbishops. I said it before, at least Catholic archbishops or Catholic priests, they have a history of standing up for the rights of people. They have spoken. Pentecostalists, they won't say anything. They want tithe and offering. Catholic bishops have said it. What this Catholic bishop said in 2020, I said in 2014, 2015. Now tell me, have they committed treason? Have these bishops, Catholic bishops, have they committed treason? How can somebody be coming to kill you? They claim is from Mauritania, somebody from Mali, somebody from heaven knows where, coming to kill you. Because if you catch them and say, oh, they are foreign bandits, they are foreign terrorists, coming to kill you. Yes, somebody is telling you not to defend yourself. You listening to such a fool, are you not an idiot? You see, when I speak, they say I insult them. Tell me, people that exhibit this level of idiocy, why they shouldn't be entitled to insults. Nnamdi Kanu said it. He said, bring him, let's hang him, let's kill him. A governor have said the same thing that I said. Catholic archbishops are now saying it. Are you coming to me to apologize? Maybe one day they will apologize. Maybe. But I just want to let you know that what we see 5-10 years ahead, you cannot see it now. That is why everything we do always yield the right results at the right time. There are some things that we say on air. There are some things that I say to people. I tell them. They find it very confusing and baffling. They wonder, how is that possible? But one day it will happen. By the time in 2015 I was telling World Igbo Congress to give us guns and bullets, people thought I was crazy. They said he's a warmonger. He wants to start war. And I said to them that I have seen something you cannot see. They said, how? Are you a prophet? Are you a man of God? I said, I'm not. But I preach the gospel of Elohim. Chukwu Kikabiyama gives me revelations. And I tell you, and it will come to pass. They said, no, it's not good enough. That thing I said 5-6 years ago, Catholic bishops are now saying it today. A sitting governor is now saying the same thing. What does that tell you about us? That we are very special. Very, very special, I assure you. We see things that others cannot see. And when I tell you that the zoo is gone, the zoo is gone. If I tell you that Biafra has come, Biafra, that is nothing. Let me tell you something. People, I said this last week. The reason why I said Biafra is the last miracle is because despite all the opposition against the emergence of Biafra, especially from Britain, Biafra will come. That still is a miracle. Not by what you and I are doing, but by the grace of Almighty God in heaven. Catholic bishops have told you, defend yourselves. Do you have AK-47 where you are now to defend yourself? If they now come to your village to ransack, which is they come in army and police uniform, they now come to kill. Tomorrow we'll put it on Facebook. Hey, what is happening is bad. This country. But meanwhile, may the soul of the departed rest in peace. End of story. Remember all our righteous indignation and outrage at Ozowane massacre in Enugu. And I'm saying, go and Google Ozowane massacre by the Fulani. Go and Google Nimbo massacre. What I'm saying to Ojo Zokalo, that fool from Ohaneze in Anambra State, that idiot. What I'm saying to you is, do you think that when Nnamdi was championing his one Nigeria with Ahmadu Bello and Tafawa Balewa, that he thought one day that these same people will send their grandchildren to come and kill his own grandchildren? He never knew that. But one man saw all these things. What I'm telling you today is not new. There was one single man, a Biafran, that saw all of these things. He called Azikiwe to work. The same thing we are telling Ohaneze today and all these Efulefus, these people that keep talking rubbish every day to BBC, we're talking nonsense. What we are telling them now is, I want to remind them tonight to remember that man called Mbono Ojike. Mazi Mbono Ojike told Azikiwe, this your World Nigeria project will backfire. Ask Mbazulika Meji, ask those who are close. I'll ask our father Mbazulika Meji, he will tell you. He was close to Zik. And he knew Mbono Ojike very well. Go to Mbazulika Meji and ask him, what killed Mbono Ojike? He will tell you. Ask him, what was Mbono Ojike's philosophy? Mbono Ojike kept warning and telling Zik, one Nigeria is bad for an Igbo man. One Nigeria, let's go home. Zik said, no, we are everywhere. We have a shop in Iguzo. An Igbo man has a chemist. Can you believe such rubbish? An Igbo man has a chemist in Sokoto. An Igbo man is building one small hotel, Hotel Jalingo in Medugri. Look at where we are today. And I'm warning you, you see this crop of politicians and errand boys for Abuja. Some of you don't know, but I will tell you tonight. Do you know the reason why they insisted that Hope Uzodinma should be the governor of Imo State? You don't know, but I will tell you. You see, that is how the Fulanis think. The Fulanis, they think ahead. Fulanis knew that Imo State will produce the next Ohaneze President General. January 2021. To tell you how advanced they are, the Fulanis, in terms of their thinking. Because the Fulanis, they want to retain control over Igbo land. You know what the Fulanis did? They have a Edwin Clark already in the Niger that is their house boy, is their errand boy. Edwin Clark was a frontline saboteur during the war. So South is sorted. Pandev is in their pocket. Do you know why they put Hope Uzodinma in power? I will tell you tonight. Because of Ohaneze PG, January 2021. It is the turn of Imo State to produce the next Ohaneze President General. And they know that it is the prerogative of the governor to nominate somebody and then cajole the rest of the governors to put that person in power. That was why they put Uzodinma there. Nothing more, nothing less. So you don't know. I'm telling you now, they knew. So they went from number 1 to number 4. What is important for the caliphate is not who occupies Douglas House. They want to determine who will come out as Ohaneze P. President General to continue the shambolic misguidance of our people. And they will get it. Because Uzodinma is there. He's not going anywhere. Until 2021, until they put Ohaneze PG, who they will fly him now to Sokoto to go and sit on the floor in front of the Sultan. The idiot will come back and tell you he's Ohaneze PG. And all of you idiots, as usual, will be chanting, clapping, and dancing like the morons you are. Yet, nothing is happening in your land. No industries, no seaport, no international airport. The same garbage all over again. Because they want to hold you down. And they determine who governs you. They appoint your leaders for you. You have no choice. But next year will be different. The next Ohaneze to PG to emerge will be a different story altogether. The Fulanis will be shocked. That I can assure you. Now, after the Catholic bishops must have said what they have said, there is a conclusion this night, we have known this before, that even the world, those who update Wikipedia, they know that the zoo is a failed state. They know the zoo is a failed state. I'm telling you this at 17 minutes past. The top of the hour, wherever you are, to know it's live. Wikipedia have listed Nigeria as a failed state in the list of failed countries. As I mentioned, that is everybody listens to Radio BFM, as I mentioned many weeks ago. Now, it is a failed state. In that failed state, somebody, a human being that claimed he went to school with a full complement of all the faculties that a brain should possess, will come out and say, I will keep defending the unity of one Nigeria. But it is a failed state. People are dying in Katsina. A former deputy governor of the central bank is telling you that the government themselves are the ones sponsoring terrorism. People are dying in your village. Fulanis are taking over your land. Your mothers are being raped. Your daughters being cut into pieces. It doesn't touch you. What matters to you is position. Let me go and control the budget and steal even more money. Do you see why the bunch of people you have are all failed leaders? Failed, completely failed. The only thing that gave honor and pride to our people is not IPOB. Without IPOB, which other honor do they have? They have nothing. And they're standing on that IPOB to be talking rubbish. You want presidency. The same rubbish as Ikiwe did, presidency. The same nonsense Ironsi did, the presidency. Where are we today? You people you don't reason. Don't reason very well. I feel ashamed for you people. You are in a failed state. A state that the whole world, even UN, recognizes as a failed state. You're yapping rubbish. Talking absolute garbage. Nonsense upon nonsense. Complete failed state. And you have no... Are we shut down? They said we've been shut. Is that possible? I don't think so. Pastor Jack is saying that but if I can say that Facebook is on, it's not be shut down. If it's shut down, I'm sure that Chinasa, Maka, and all the rest of them, and Madabubu, they will text to let me know. I think that please confirm that the Facebook is still on, because I have this thing here on the screen. I can't see it because I'm afraid that if I click on this very thing, that they will take the whole thing down. So I don't want to touch anything at all. So I need confirmation, please, that we are still live and direct on Facebook. Now, listen to the problem of our people. Why we cannot reason like human beings, I have no idea. Our mandate is Igbo presidency, not Biafra, Ohaneze chief. You know this Ohaneze people. You try to rehabilitate them. You try to teach them. You try to lecture them. You try to get them to reason like people who are involved in, should I say, socio-cultural development of their people, and all the time they refuse. Imagine the type of comment coming from the mouth of somebody who says he's Ohaneze chief. Because we gave them the leeway, because we spoke to them, because we said we'll be nice to them. Can you see the nonsense coming out of their mouth? Unguarded utterances. When it was the time of the Yorubas, when they wanted to agitate, using OPC and the rest to agitate, Did any Yoruba politician come out and say, we don't want to do what we want is a Yoruba presidency? You see how foolish people are. When I say that, they say, I don't want to insult anybody in Ohanese, but you see how daft they are. I'm asking you a simple question. When OPC's agitation was raging for Duduwa Republic, and they produced the Olufalaye and Obasanjo to contest in 1999. I'm asking you fools, some of you idiots in Ohanese, I'm sorry to say, but I have to use this type of language because you people are fools, you don't know anything. I want you to go back and show me where any frontline Yoruba politician or elder came out and said, we are warning OPCO, what we want is Yoruba presidency, not to Duduwa Republic. I want to prove to the world that these people some of these people that speak for Hanese, they're just fools. They have no brain. They claim they're politicians, but they know nothing. They don't know what is called leverage. They have no idea what a leverage is. Let me give you another example. When Fulanis formed Boko Haram to kick out Jonathan, and Boko Haram was killing people everywhere. I'll get to it later on. And Ihejirika was fighting them. What did Buhari say? Did Buhari say to Boko Haram, stop what you're doing, or we're only interested in Fulani presidency? I want to prove to the world that an average Igbo errand boy, stroke politician, is a complete dumb fool. They have no brain. So you cannot come and make a forceful point for your useless Igbo presidency. You had to use Biafra to prove to your Fulani masters, I'm loyal to Nigeria. But I'm asking you now, everybody knows what Boko Haram stands for. They want a caliphate in the north. Buhari won election in 2015 supporting Boko Haram in the open. Are you following what I'm saying? Igbo efulefu, and can you reason at all? Idiotic Igbo efulefu, Hanezeka, is your brain. Can your brain actually articulate? All of you idiots who want Nigeria, this or that. I'm asking you, when Buhari was defending Boko Haram in broad daylight, an attack against Boko Haram is an attack against the north, did he say to Boko Haram, our problem is Fulani presidency, not caliphate? Did you not vote Buhari in 2015 despite his support for terrorists? Did you not have a choice of choosing from two Yoruba men, Olufalaye and Obasanjo, as a direct result of OPC's agitation following the annulment of June 12? Not Nadeko, grassroots agitation on the ground by OPC. They gave them two presidential candidates at the same time. They invoked the doctrine of necessity. But a typical useless, daft, Igbo idiot politician with no brain. You think by attacking Biafra that the Fulanis will give you Igbo presidency. See how foolish they are. I've been able to prove it to you, how daft you are. I want you to go back and get me any condemnation of Boko Haram pre-2015 from Buhari. None. He was supporting them. I'll read it for you later. When you tell these people that, your elders, the elders of their brains are empty. They know nothing. They were all groomed by Fulani people. Fulani brought them out. The same way they put Hopos of them there to control the outcome of Ohanese leadership tussle come January of next year. I'm asking you, I want you to show me where a Yoruba politician rose up in 1999 or before 1999 and said, our problem, Gani Adams, you're warning you, our problem is Yoruba presidency, not all these things you're doing. And they still got it. The Yoruba men contested. I want you to show me where Buhari came out and said to Boko Haram, we don't need your caliphate. You're causing us problems. You're causing us problems. Show me. Instead, Buhari said, they are our brothers. An attack against them is an attack against the whole North. Did he not win elections? They know nothing. Yapping rubbish. One Nigeria, we want one Nigeria. I will defend one Nigeria till I die. People talking rubbish. Our mandate is Igbo presidency, not Biafra. Ohane is a chief. Because we made the mistake of talking to them. Have you seen? You see their lives? You see how they behave? They have no brain, no knowledge of history. Stupidity everywhere, from top to bottom. Stupidity everywhere. All they do is, we are elder, we are elder. Their brains are. And I said to them, don't foolish young people grow old? All some of these baby saboteurs we have now, they're not going to grow old. So when they grow old, they become elder as well. Is that correct? We are preaching the gospel of redemption, please. Live and direct. Live and direct. And the Vanguard newspaper today rushed and published it. Igbo elites have turned down Nnamdi Kanu's rhetorics to achieve restructured Nigeria. Only Igbo politicians, or should I say Biafran politicians, they are the only ones that think that attacking their own people will advance their goal. When I came out, I attacked the enemy, the Zoo state. Fulani Janjaweedism. But some of this, do you see how they groom their baby saboteurs to follow after them? A slave life. They never attacked the Fulani Janjaweed. They never attacked what is happening in the zoo. It is Nnamdi Kanu's rhetoric. So by speaking this way, you want Fulani to love you and embrace you. So what you're saying to Fulani is that we are prepared to sacrifice Nnamdi Kanu to you, as they have done on 2 occasions. We can kill him for you if you want. If that is what they're saying in effect is that if IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu is the reason why you cannot give us presidency, promise us anything, we'll kill them for you. That's what they're saying. Do you see the saboteur mindset of an Igbo man? Sabo to the core, to the bone marrow. Do you see what they are doing to themselves? Do you see, when we speak now, they say, oh, please don't insult them. But do you see how they're insulting themselves every day? I asked them a simple question, and I don't want write it down. If you see any Efulefu, including this idiot, I don't know his name, any Efulefu, ask the Efulefu. Throughout the agitation of OPC, I want you to show me where a Yoruba man came out on a national newspaper and said, OPC, stop this thing you're doing. What we want is Yoruba presidency. I said, show me one article. Again, show me an article that says that they don't condemn Boko Haram. What we want is northern presidency, not caliphate. Show me one article. You will see none. Do you know the funniest thing? Their politicians backed OPC. They got the presidency. Fulani politicians backed Boko Haram, a terrorist group. They got the presidency in 2015, and they're still there till today. You people that every time you keep sacrificing yourselves to the Fulani, have you gotten anything? Ordinary vice you cannot get. Ordinary Senate president you don't have. You have nothing. That is the price you pay for sabotage. Treachery. You think they don't know in the north? They know now, they're laughing at you because you're dumb. you wear that cap and you're talking rubbish. You're an elder, a little boy. In IPOB, we have council of elders in IPOB. We have crowned heads in IPOB. We have kings. In fact, let me put it this way, traditional rulers. And a chaff, you know, a chaff, a complete chaff. It's calling them youths. Those youths. Have you not seen our mothers before in Nnamdi? Do they look young to you? People that gave birth to men who are older than you. You're calling them youths. You see how foolish they are. You see how foolish they are. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's their lot. That was how Zeke sold them down the river. And today you're suffering it. Are you not suffering it today? The same Efulefu mentality. I want to prove to all of you that This very effort to Islamize, to take over our land, is a concerted effort. And the reason why I like other people, and you know, the stupidity, I'm not saying that there are not some, of course, there are some Biafran journalists who are very good. They will always try to be objective and report what is happening. But there are those who are fools. I want to use Daily Trust in the north and most of the Lagos-based newspapers in the west to also educate our people. I want our people to understand this. I want Biafrans to understand this very simple logic. The same way I've been able to prove to you that throughout the agitation of OPC for Oduduwa State, when they perceived the injustice of June 12 annulment, they agitated. No Yoruba man came out to ask OPC to stop what they're doing until they got Yoruba presidency. The same thing happened in the north. No northerner came out and said to Boko Haram, stop what you're doing so we can go and get Fulani presidency. No. Two of them were working together. As a result of Boko Haram, Buhari got into office. As a result of OPC activities on the ground, the Yorubas got presidency. They never attacked their frontline activists. Never. Only an Igbo man does that. And that's why they have nothing. Do you see how foolish they are? Do you know that Daily Trust newspaper is a Janjaweed paper advancing the Fulani cause? And they know that the last line of defense is IPOB. They know that. That is why they will attack it. Let me tell you what they claim an Igbo man wrote. Nigerian army inroads into the southeast, where they are praising, his name is Linus Okoye. He was writing and praising Fulani army killing their own people. An Igbo man, Linus Okoye. Because tomorrow when people get upset, when men rise and get upset and start dealing with these saboteurs, some of you will start complaining. We look at what they're writing. And a Daily Trust newspaper gleefully wrote it. Daily Trust is working. It's a Fulani paper working for the Fulani Janjaweed. Do you know what this fool said? That the Nigerian army has done so well in the southeast. This is the army that killed his people. The massacre that Amnesty International documented at Mpo. Massacre in Aba. Nobody's hiding that. Did Britain say anything? Was there any commission of inquiry? No. An Igbo man is praising a Fulani army, more or less, for killing his people. It's in the Daily Trust. How well they did, killing his own people. That's what they learned from Haneze. Any Sabo goes, if Loretta Noche calls you now and gives you maybe 2,000 naira. I remember one idiot that was working for Family Writers before. And a number of politicians called him, gave him one laptop, one smartphone, and 2,000 recharge card every week. And he turned into a saboteur for 2,000 naira, one laptop and one smartphone. Talk less of this one. Who knows what they must have put? Maybe as assistant to assistant PA on media to one idiot in Abuja, and he wrote for Daily Trust. If you go there, they say, no people man write this. They are saying Burata is doing very well, killing his people. What they learned from Hanese. Because you see goats, when goat gives birth to a baby goat, when mother goat is eating yam, baby goat is watching the mother goat eat yam. One day baby goat will go and taste yam as well. That's what it is. What I'm saying is that, in effect, is that what Hanese has been able to do is to entrench a culture of betrayal and deceit into the mentality of an Igbo man. Because they can see that betrayal pays. If I betray my people, Abuja will give me something, so why don't I betray? That's what they're now doing. So it is now in our bone marrow. Betrayal. That's why somebody wrote this, his name is Linus Okoye. praising somebody for killing his people. Whereas the man that they claim that running the zoo in his name, Buhari, when he hit the car, bombed Boko Haram hideouts, he was screaming until they removed the Hejrika. You see how the woman behaves. Very foolish. Very, very foolish indeed. Very sad. That's the way they are. You can't change them. But IPOB is here. And very soon the result will be out. You know how, do you see how miraculous, our God is? When I launched BSS, they said because of BSS, we are coming to kill you. The same thing that when I was launched in 2017, they came to kill me. Our Yoruba brothers have launched it. Even terrorists, Miyetti Allah, have launched their own. The same thing I said in 2014, 2015, arm yourselves. Today, Catholic bishops, governors are now saying it, go and arm yourselves. We are always one step ahead of our enemies. Luckily for us now, the Yorubas have launched their own. The terrorist group, Fulani terrorists, have launched theirs, Miyetti Allah. We are the only ones left. And we are coming, we are coming. We are coming. It's only a matter of time. We are coming. We are coming, and the world will see it. Now, let me see who is going to write. Because once they write their petition, these professional petition writers, once they write now, can you see, Nnamdi Kanu has raised an army? I will simply send pictures of Amoteku and newspaper cuttings of Miyetti Allah to every diplomatic mission in the world to say that what we are doing is no different from what others have done, you see. Do you know those who are going to fight us? The same governors you have because they were put there by Fulani men. Fulani will call them and say, what are you doing? Are you there? But in their own place, they are funding bandits and terrorists. But in your own land, that IPOB is coming to defend you. They ask you to sabotage them. And you come out and talking rubbish. As usual. As usual. That tells you all you need to know. That tells you all you need to know. And this evening, I just want the world to have an insight into the brain of those that claim they are leading our people on the ground in Biafra land, be they in politics or in social-cultural groups like Ohaneze. Ozadema petitions the National Judicial Council, I think that's what it's called, NJC, the AGF, his Fulani Masters, over Supreme Court Governor tag by the PDP. That was yesterday. He wrote to them saying, PDP are calling me Supreme Court Governor. And the question tonight, are you not Supreme Court Governor? Who made you governor? Did Imo people vote for you? The answer is no. How did you emerge governor? You went to Supreme Court. And it is what another thing that I find distressingly baffling is this. How we all forget so easily. They went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court tabulated the number of votes cast. And it is more than what INEC submitted. And that was how he emerged as the governor. Supreme Court sat down and said, hey, let's make him governor. Some of you thought is the Fulani Caliphate. They want Uzodema or their pets, their stooge, to give them an Ohaneze PG that is loyal to them, even more loyal than the present one you have. That's why they put this ex-criminal there. 419 in Lagos. He was the secretary of 419ers in Lagos. He was a professional scammer, a thief. He will write a letter and tell you, come and buy, or we want to sell airport or land to you, and they scam you. These are the type of leaders you have. This is the type of person who emerged, that they chose a criminal they know is a rogue to be Imo State governor. and Ohaneze visited him, solidarity visit. No honor, no dignity, no discipline. Ah, dear me. Welcome to the world of mad people. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has petitioned the National Judicial Council and Abubakar Malami, who is himself under probe and investigation over the tag of Supreme Court Governor used to describe him by the PDP. Hope Uzodinma, who brought you out, is it not Supreme Court? Not only did the Supreme Court bring him out, this Supreme Court full of monkeys with horse wig on their head, they sat down. Number of voters in Imo State was 850,000. Supreme Court conjured up 935,000. And the simple question was, or is, where did you get the extra votes from? They don't know. Is INEC not your umpire or electoral referee set up by an act of parliament? Yes. If I want to know the number of people that cast their votes to put in that terrorist sponsor, El Rufai in Kaduna, who do I go to? I go to INEC, not to Supreme Court. So Supreme Court, who did you go to determine the number of votes cast in Imo State? Nobody. Even INEC was raising their hand to speak in court. They said, no, sit down. This bunch of fools sat down and decided to award votes to Hope Uzodinma. That was how he emerged, courtesy of Supreme Court. And nobody will stop. Everybody will keep calling him Supreme Court governor until he leaves that place. Our people don't know it's a slap on the faces of all Biafran people. You don't know that? A very dirty slap. With Hope Uzodinma, what the Fulanis are saying to is that we can do anything we like. For the idiots asking us to go into politics, you can see it now from number 4 to number 1. What can you do? Nothing. They have army at Obinze. If you talk, they will shoot you dead. And the world will ask what is happening. Let's ask Britain. They'll go to UK and ask them, what is happening? Did you hear all the shootings of the protesters in a way? They say, no, it's a minor, it's a farmer-header clash. And the case will be closed. These are the things I want. As long as you listen to us, your life can never be the same. You'll be able to reason properly. I want the world to understand why in Biafra land we have a conveyor belt of saboteurs. Conveyor belt. Because the political leadership, they got to where they are by compromising and sabotaging each other. That's how they got to where they are. The sociocultural group itself, for Hanese, they are the ones that have entrenched betrayal as a way of life, as a way of reasoning. That is why every idiot will come, okay, now. I remember when we were growing up, Chubo Kadibo was our role model in terms of politics. He read political science and he was well spoken and he was very good and he did brilliant things and all the rest of it. Everybody within that Shagari era, not because they supported MPN, but because of Chubo Kadibo, they wanted to read. Every young, impressionable, teenager wanted to become a political scientist, to be like Chubo Kadibo. There's something that is happening now. You have seen that these people, they made it by betraying one another by selling our land. So everybody wants to betray and sell our land. So they can be like Hope Uzodinma. Who knows? They can make them governor one day. Once Fulani comes and looks at your record of treachery against your people, they'll see if they can promote you. That's why you have endless supply of saboteurs every blessed day. But of course, they're very sick. And very soon, there's auto born, and very soon, the world will hear about them. Very, very soon, they'll be shamed. Very soon, you will hear about them. The IPOB, we are the largest mass movement on this earth, bar none. When we march, the earth vibrates. The largest in the whole world. And that is why our enemies are afraid of us. He is the Supreme Court governor, and that remains his name forever and ever because they appointed him. With what is happening in southern Kaduna, what is happening in Katsina, what is happening in the rainforest, as this very good man put it, the former deputy governor of the CBN, what is now very clear is that there is a genocidal war going on. In the midst of the genocidal war, the Fulanis have come to Nimbo, they have come to Ozowani, they have come to Oka, they have come everywhere. They are settling in our land by force. Somebody will rise up from the same land where people are crying, where women are saying we cannot go to the farm anymore. Our mothers in Ungwa, they are protesting every blessed day. That's their land, they can no longer go to the farm. And somebody from there, a so-called politician, will rise up and say, I'm fighting for one Nigeria. Unbelievable. They have prepared and are not taking anything for granted, the Fulani Janjaweed. Their mission is very clear and nothing will stand between them and accomplishing their goal. Our people always fail to understand that Islam will always expand. It's a natural phenomenon. It will always expand. It can never stand still. There are good Islamic scholars. There are good people who are in Islam. I've engaged some of them in discussions. There are good people. So somebody's religion is something very private. It's between you and your God. Anything you want to worship is entirely up to you. But the Fulanis have used this religion to deceive the Hausa people and conquer them. They used it to deceive the Gwari people, the Nupe people, convinced everybody, conquered them all the way to Egala land. Do you understand? And they're still using it till today. And it will not work with IPOB. And we are saying to them, to the whole world concerned, you know, we are very intelligent. We have scientists who can make things happen. And as I said, in the not too distant future, the result will be there for all to see. We don't care what you say. I don't give a damn what you're going to say. I don't give a toss. You know us, not the way we operate. We don't give a damn what the world will say. The Biafra will stand. If you ask me to stay in the zoo, that means you want me to be Islamized by force against my will, and that will not happen. It won't happen. And as I keep saying, there is nothing I have said before that I have not done. And when I tell that Biafra is coming, it's coming. It doesn't matter what our enemy is. It doesn't matter. Instead, all of us will die there. I'm saying it in the open. Cut out this clip and send it to diplomats as they normally do. Cut it out. And as you're cutting it out, you also know we are doing our own. All those things you said about Boko Haram, all those things that El Rufai did, paying killers, all those things, we are also supplying them. We know you bribed them. We know that the diplomatic community in the zoo, they are corrupt. We know that you pay diplomats. Once they come to the zoo, you give them $1 million each to start with as a welcome package. So they can be sending false reports back to their home nations. We know that for sure. But we're not going to tell you that Biafra is truly the last miracle on this earth. No matter what you do, you can't stop Biafra from coming. None of the Efulefus, all these idiots talking rubbish, nonsense. We want presidency, this president. All of you, when the chips are down, you will run. You will go to Katsina and do your presidency there. Mad people everywhere. You people are sick in the brain. You are the only ones who think you can climb the grisly pole of political patronage by disparaging your own people. How foolish, Now listen, they are coming. And they will not stop until they conquer all of you. You know that there's a saying where we come from. When they are carrying somebody else's corpse, you don't feel it. Once that person is not your relative, you don't feel anything until it happens to you. And always have, if you've learned nothing tonight, have this at the back of your mind. All the one Nigeria garbage that Azikiwe played, where did it get us to? To tell you how much they hate us, to tell you how much Britain and the Fulani, how much Britain has turned the brain of the Fulani to hate. Once they see a Biafran, if they see an Igbo man, it is pure hatred, is this. The day that I realized that Ojukwu never succeeded, the day it came, but if you see how they went into history books all over the world, even on secessionist, you will think that Nigeria has been existing for the past 6,000 years. Nobody took time to say, but these people have been existing before you created your Nigeria. Nobody said that Ojukwu went to Aburi and negotiated a confederation with Gowon. Nobody said it. Nobody wrote and said Ojukwu stayed in Enugu and said, no, I will not go back to join a one unitary Nigeria. On Aburi I stand. They never said that, which was restructuring. So all the idiots talking about restructuring, want to restructure, I ask you, what did Ojukwu go to Aburi to do? You know their brain is so shallow. You know zoo education. They don't retain information. The thing about the brain of your average Nigerian, a monkey in the zoo, is that they have a sandy brain. You pour information, they retain it for one day, and they keep speculating until they go to the toilet and they urinate it out. And it's gone. They don't know how to hold anything for reference purposes. They don't know the reason why you go to school and you learn is for reference purposes. You tell them something, they cannot retain it. You say to somebody now, the reason why I don't believe in Nigeria is because look at those that believed in it. Where are they today? Like Azikiwe. When he or she wants to respond to your argument, they forget entirely what you've just said. They go to a new point. I say, oh, but I want to be a Nigerian. But those that went before you and preached one Nigeria, their villages are now under Fulani occupation. Do you still believe in one Nigeria? They can't answer. And then the next day, they go back to the old argument. That is the brain, very porous brain of these people. In all these genocidal conflicts, lives have been lost. And I want all of you to understand that the reason why the Fulanis are getting away with murder, literally, is because Britain is supporting them. As I said, immediately after the Second World War, there was a gentleman's agreement, reminiscent of the 1884-86 Berlin Conference on the partition of Africa. Do you know what they decided? They said that anywhere you are remains your area of influence. Although we may give them their flag as independent nations in Africa, but we still control their destiny. Ask me how, and I will tell you. Some of you don't know this, but I've said it before, and allow me to repeat. You see Togo. You see Togo, after Benin Republic and before Ghana. Do you know that Togo was a German territory before? Togo was a German colony. It was given to France as compensation or reparation after the Second World War. Are you aware of that? Togo in Africa, that had nothing to do with the war in Europe, was used to compensate France. Do you know that Cameroon was also German? Do all of you know? You see Cameroon here. Both Ambazonia were their brothers of Ambazonia and the North. Do you know that they were controlled by Germany? That after the Second World War, they cut it off. Northern part was given to France. The southern part, the Anglophone, was given to British as compensation. You see Africans in our villages fetching water from our stream, trying to make ends meet. They were in Europe discussing who will own us. That was how Togo became a French colony. That is how Togo is today using CFA. Do you understand how they share your lives? So anybody telling you that Britain doesn't decide what is happening in the zoo, you are either deceiving yourself or you are completely daft. They still see Nigeria as British territory till tomorrow morning. You cannot do anything there without going to Britain first. Why is it then, why therefore is it difficult for all the French West Africa to break away from CFA? Break away now, let's see. You can talk, you can do all your meetings you like, but France is controlling you, and so shall it be. Because you're niggers from Africa, you have no direct control over your lives. You sold your future, your fathers betrayed you, all of you. You are properties of the Europeans. This is called neo-colonialism. You are nothing. That is why in the zoo, the Fulanis can kill everybody. Because the first person you defer to is UK High Commission in Abuja. You ask them what is going on, and they'll say it's nothing. It's just a minor clash here and there. And they continue to enslave you. You see how your life is? The life of a nigger is very, very hard, isn't it? Defend yourselves against them. That is the talk. But if I say defend yourselves, they say Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. But Boko Haram and Miyetti Allah, who are the ones, the bandits killing people, no one has gone for ex parte motion, asking for them to be tagged the terrorist group. All of you are there, 200 million people, as foolish as ever, mopishly looking, looking. Bandits are killing you. Nobody has gone to court to say, let us label them a terrorist group. But an unarmed group asking you to defend yourselves, all of you were there, IPOB was tagged the terrorist group by the Fulani. Do you see such hypocrisy and such double standards? Let me play this for you so you understand it. You understand what the Fulanis are doing. This man called Lafia is called, the former central bank governor. DSS invited him, but the same DSS has never invited Miyetti Allah leader for going and saying that the Benue belongs to them, that they will kill and take over the people's land. They have never invited Miyetti Allah leader. Britain is there. DSS is because they are Fulani. Everybody is Fulani. Miyetti Allah is a Fulani terrorist group. Nobody has ever invited them. And all of you wake up in the morning, I want to defend Nigeria. I will defend Nigeria. When I look at I say to myself, but the Europeans, these are the people to experiment with. They're looking for guinea pigs to test COVID-19 vaccine and all the rest of the stupid drugs you make. You look, there are enough black people who are so foolish that all they are good for is for laboratory experiment. I'm telling you the truth. Let us listen to this preacher, Prophet Isa El-Buba Sadiq. I didn't ask you to listen to anybody else from IPOB. Listen to this man. I am playing for you people who are not Biafrans. These are people who that Britain gave to the Fulani, calling them North. Any day you realize what Britain came to do, you will know. Do you know that Britain came, and do you know that the creation of Nigeria itself is a direct project of Satan? Do you know that the reason why that place was named Nigeria? Nigeria means nigger area, black area, darkness, poverty, backwardness, satanic. That's the meaning of it. Do you know why they named it Nigeria? Was because we are children of light, because of Biafrans. Are you aware? Do you know the reason why they named that place Nigeria, a place of darkness, was because we represent the light? Do you see why we love Ojukwu so much? Ojukwu himself doesn't even know what he came to do. I don't think he knows. He thought it was just an accident. You know, people were killed in the north and he went back home and declared Biafra. No. God was using him for a purpose because his heart was clean and clear. He was a good man. Our eternal leader was a good man. His heart was clear. God saw something in him and used him at that time to announce his kingdom to come. And they all went after him. That thing Ojukwu saw 50 years ago is now happening, isn't it? Because we are blessed. Britain created Nigeria because of us. They have come. Satan sent them to extinguish the light, and that light is Biafra. That was why they named the place darkness. And empowered the Fulani so much. The Fulani has no job in life for the British. Suppress Biafra, keep them down, kill them, massacre them, jail them, do anything you like. We are here, we are Britain, we'll defend you anywhere in the world. That's what's been happening. Let me play what this man said, and we try and bring the program to it. Because let me play it for you. There are many things to cover, but I'm sure on Friday morning we'll go through them. Listen.
The question I want to ask,
yes,
has the Nigerian Constitution denied any Nigerian of self-defense?
Still on self-defense, so you remember that thing I said in Los Angeles? They said Nnamdi Kanu is looking for war. Bring him, hang him, treasonable felony. There is a pastor, his name is Professor Isa El-Buba Sadiq. The same thing I said. The same thing Roman Catholic priests said. May God bless them. Roman Catholic bishops. The same thing that our dear brother, my life here said on Crossfire interview. Ex-CBN governor. The same thing that I said 5 years ago. Do you know those that asked for me to be killed were mostly Igbo people? Because I said that we need guns and bullets to defend against what is happening today. Those things have come. They are now happening. And instead of us to face it as an existential threat and deal with it, people are talking about presidency as if they are drunk, as if they are foolish. As if they are foolish. I don't understand these people, honestly. I don't. And I keep asking, also, the same road that Zeke and Nnamdi Azikiwe took that led to the massacre in Nimbo and also one is the same route you want us to take again. They've learned nothing from history. Let us listen to this very prophet.
And if the answer is no, that the Constitution of Nigeria has given you the power as a citizen to defend yourself when the aggressor comes on. The question I want to ask everyone of the increase in the militancy and the attack on innocent lives.
By the Fulani.
The question I want to ask you.
Ask it.
What stops you from defending yourself?
What stops you from defending yourself? The same thing Nnamdi Kanu said 2014, 2015. Everybody is now waking up to that reality. The same thing that IPOB formed, BSS, that people are now forming today as vigilantes to defend their nations. We are always one step ahead of our enemies. And when we unveil who we are, the whole world will be shocked. Then they know we've not been sleeping, we've not been joking. Then we tell them that this same Biafra, if you don't give it to us, we'll all die there. I'm telling you, we'll all perish there. All of us will die there. We'll have nothing. Let us tell them we are learned people. If Janjaweed, Boko Haram, uneducated, unintelligent people can hold you down for very many years, think of what we can do in this day and age. If our fathers can build a Juku bucket, think of what their children and their children's children can build today. We are fanatical about Biafra. And I want Britain to understand this. I'm an Anglophile. I hold a British passport. I love England very much. English people, they're nice people. The British, in essence, if you meet an average British person, they are conscientious. They are very good people. They don't believe in evil. That was why Oluwade Kwanoma managed to go to a British court to win his right to be free. Because in England, reason prevails. If you go to a court in England and convince a judge that black is blue, once you present evidence, he will agree with you. They are highly civilized people. But some people that work for their governments are letting them down. I am an Anglophile, as I said. I will always defend British interests anywhere, any day, anytime. But not the defense of an interest that is designed to perpetuate racism. The creation of Nigeria is a racist construct. It was born out of racism to suppress Biafra. But this light of God, you cannot suppress any longer. That is why to us, Biafra is everything. It is the air that we breathe. It is more than all you can imagine. They say we are fanatical about Biafra because, yes, to us, Biafra is our religion. And here on radio, Biafra is where we worship. And do you want to know why? Because the God Almighty in heaven, Chukwokika Abiyama, is our God. I love you very much from the bottom of my heart, I must tell you that. But from me, from here, it is good evening. One of you, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, because we are being listened to right across the entire surface of this very human habitation, this very planet, this very earth that Chukwokika Abiyama created. I welcome you, and as I do so, I will seriously encourage you to welcome other people as well, because this is a gospel of hope, of redemption, of liberation, a gospel of freedom, that will lead us from bondage into freedom, that will lead us from darkness into light. We have come here that those who were hitherto very blind may be able to see. We have come that those who are unreasonable may be able to reason. We have come that those who yearn for freedom may be able to test it in their lifetime. Once again, I welcome you. You can get us, of course, we are live on my Facebook page at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I think I have about how many followers? I think it's very close to 500,000. I think 490 something or thereabout. 492. That's what Facebook has permitted so far. As you all know, they will keep suppressing. They're doing the best they can to stop this very gospel from going out. I have also noticed with some people as well, people who speak the truth, Facebook are also suppressing them, reducing their numbers, reducing the number of reach, and also hiding most of their reactions. But that is not going to deter us. We continue to preach this very gospel. If there is only one person left, we shall preach this very gospel. Absolutely critical and very, very important. Once again, I welcome you. Welcome other people. We are on satellite. We are on FM. We are on Radio Biafra app. We are on TuneIn app. We are also on Radio Garden. And very hopefully, as I did promise you, IPOB app. Very, very imminently, please. You can go and download IPOB app. You may not be able to get this program there this morning, but before Sunday, all our configuration will be done. You can also listen to us via IPOB app as well. It is on Android. It is also on App Store for those of you who are using iOS, by which we mean iPhone and all the rest of it. I welcome you once again. I'm not tired from saying that. And to those of you who are complaining about waking up very late, it's entirely up to you. This is a race for freedom. I expect people to be up and doing at 7 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes we don't sleep throughout the whole night. But this morning, without further hesitation, we are going to pray. As it is normal, as it is customary for us to do after our prayers, then we shall delve into what we have for you this very day. We shall go into it, and once we do that, you will be able to understand the mess that we are in as a people, the mess that the likes of Omahi have put us in, and what we must do as a people to make sure that we get ourselves out of it. We must pray this very morning. Very, very important, please. We are going to pray a prayer of rescue, of recovery, a prayer for those who are in trouble, because right now we are in trouble. But we are going to pray to the Most High to give us His abiding grace, His wisdom, His guidance, to lead us into this inevitable battle that is about to come. God of the wind and of the water, stillness and storm, the God of all ages, your spirit sweeps over the surface of the sea to calm it down. In these very troubled times that we live in, give us faith to seek you, give us the fortitude to understand, and give us the abundant grace for us to be able to come out of it. Reach out your hand this very morning, we pray to us. Because we are sinking, our people are mired in ignorance. People are drowning in their own stupidity. We believe and we worship thee, because you are the God of our hope. You are the God of our help. You are the one that have drawn us away from raging waters, the same way you brought the house of Israel safely through the sea. Sustain all those of us in IPOB and beyond who are seeking to save others, because we're not just seeking to save ourselves, but to save everybody who is suffering in the damnable zoological republic that man made. You are God, and we call upon thee this morning. You did not create Nigeria, man did. Everything you created will sustain forever. Every man-made creation has an expiry date. The zoo has expired. That damnation has expired. That contraption has expired. That is why people are wallowing in misery. That is why people are wallowing in poverty. That is why people are dying needlessly. That is why there is despotic rule. That is why there is no rule of law. That is why there is Janjaweedism everywhere. That is why terrorists are in power. That is why the army and police can kill with impunity. That is why there is so much injustice. Come and repair your land of Biafra. We have sinned against thee, and we're not ashamed to say it and acknowledge it before the congregation of the living listening all over the world, that we, your children, have gone contrary to your ways, and as a result, we are suffering today. But come and raise us up from this devastation that is the damnable zoological republic. Come and restore us. Come and infuse life into the cities that have crumbled. Come that we may rebuild your temple in Arochukwu, that we may give glory to thee eternally. Now and forevermore we pray. He said, our lines are going to open this very morning. And as I did say earlier, it is not in our place to analyze or critically evaluate any news item. But there are two things that I must touch upon before our lines open. Those two things are what the Supreme Court governor is doing in Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, an ex-criminal, an ex-419er, and also what the man they brought as the police commissioner is also doing there. We want to make it abundantly clear that those that they arrested must be released. We campaign and we champion for the freedom of everybody who is innocent. They have done nothing wrong to anybody. This level of intimidation I must also this very morning bring to the awareness and to the attention of the British High Commission in Abuja, and to also alert the United States Embassy in the zoo as well in Abuja and their consulate in Lagos, that this level of intimidation has been going on for a very long time. This level of bastardization of the rule of law has been going on for a very long time. Nobody's paying attention. I don't know when it became the duty of the police to arrest people who are visiting or who claim to be visiting a native doctor. I don't subscribe to native doctors. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in all that rubbish. I believe in science and I believe in technology. And of course, I believe in faith that only cometh from the belief in the supreme almighty creator of everything that is made. These are the things that we must understand. Politicians go to see native doctors. Everybody go to see native doctors. I don't know when it is the duty of anybody, including this very Yoruba police commissioner who is in Imo State, to predict a crime that hasn't already happened. I don't know where on this very earth, be it in civil or common law, where you can arrest somebody and claim without any evidence, and then claim that in the future they may commit crime. I have never heard or seen such rubbish before. Because what Hope Uzodinma is inviting, and this idiot, this stupid police commissioner in Imo State, is anarchy. And I want Britain to understand this very clearly. I want every commentator to understand this. You cannot go about arresting people for no reason, then claiming that they may commit crime in the future. What sort of nonsense is that? People go to native dog, people go to pastors, people go to shrines, people go to a lot of places. People go to nightclubs, people go to restaurants, people go to where they believe that their faith could be enhanced. People go to the mosque. Not everybody goes to church. Some people go and see a native doctor. So it is not your business. It is not your business to interfere with people's mode of worship. It is not your business. This is what hope. All of you stupid, useless, hopeless supporters of that Supreme Court governor in Imo State must see what he's doing. We are being provoked every blessed day. People are being arrested, being tortured, being detained without trial every blessed day. We've been singing this same song and nobody wants to listen. The reason why I'm saying it this morning is that when our own madness starts, we'll make reference to this very podcast. When Britain begins to write, we make reference to even that useless BBC. Well, I have said to some of you that the problem that we have as a people is that we are the cause of our own problem. Some of you idiots patronizing BBC, you can see the rubbish they are writing. You are bringing death and destruction upon your lives. You people, you are bringing an end to your existence as a race and as a people because of your stupidity, because you don't listen. Because you don't listen. Look at what BBC is doing. Look at what they are doing. So BBC is now telling me that in England, who the interest they represent, you are telling me that BBC, World News, BBC in England, will support the mass arrest of the people who have not committed any crime. How can you go and arrest people who are traveling, minding their own business? You never arrested Fulani people who are coming in their droves, people that broke the curfew. The lockdown curfew, you never arrested them because they are armed. Because Fulani Janjaweed, they have guns and they have ammunition, they have bullets, they can fight, they can defend themselves. You don't arrest them. But this Yoruba police commissioner in Imo State, you feel you can arrest people who are minding their business. They are not armed. They've done nothing wrong. You arrest them because we are not armed. The reason why you're doing this is because our land is peaceful, because we are peace-loving people. We are not armed. That's why you're doing what you do. And everybody is now failing. Everybody is pretending they cannot see this level of injustice. You are claiming you cannot see it. The governors you have in Biafra land, but especially in Igbo, should I say in the southeast, they are hell-bent on serving Fulani interest. And you kill your people, you will do anything, you will arrest to prove to your Fulani masters that you are very strong. Before I came on air this morning, I've posted something on my page about Dave Umahi. Sometimes some of these governors, you think they're human beings. Some of them, you think they're normal, and then they proceed to not only prove you wrong, but to bring shame and disgrace upon themselves. July 27th, Dave Umahi said that there will be a vigilante for the region, a regional vigilante, which is how it should be. And today he has changed his mind. No more vigilante, go state by state. Amoteku is for the whole of Yoruba land, the whole of Oduduwa land, the whole of the West. That is how it is done. Fulani Mietiala, a terrorist group, launched their own vigilante. They did not just say Fulani, they said they will cover Fulanis all over the zoo. Dave Umahi came out this morning to say there will be no vigilante. In other words, a green light to the Fulani come and invade us because you want to be president, you want to be vice. It is this level of wickedness, this level of evil, this level of self-hatred that I don't understand in our people. I just don't understand it. Sometimes I wonder what sort of God made these people. Even those that you expect to reason and to think properly, they cannot think properly, they cannot reason properly. I wonder why a governor, chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, will come out and say there will be no vigilante. The Yorubas have one. And that is why you no longer hear about Fulanis abducting and killing in Yoruba land. They are now in our area. Instead of us to rise up and defend our land, you can see the way they're behaving. You can see it. Hope Adema is busy in collaboration with the Yoruba Police Commissioner arresting people who are going on their way to somewhere that doesn't concern anybody. So what they're telling me now is that there is no freedom of assembly, no freedom of movement. People can no longer assemble in a democracy. In a democracy. In a democracy. I just can't get my head around it. And as a result of what they have done, this was what happened with Boko Haram that some of you have forgotten. Because the thing about black people is that you teach them something. It goes in through one ear, it pops out through the other. There is no ability to retain information and reference it at the right time. This was what they did to, I'm saying it so that Britain can hear this morning, so that USA can hear. This was how they provoked Boko Haram into becoming a terrorist group all over the world. Every idiot is now condemning Boko Haram. But what Nigerian police did to Boko Haram that made them to turn from a peaceful movement to an armed group, none of you idiots can remember, because you're black people, your brains don't retain information. Are you aware that Boko Haram was a peaceful movement? Rightfully so, agitating for the caliphate? Do you know that it is their right to agitate for? Do you know that anybody can agitate for anything as long as you're doing it peacefully? Are you aware of that? Homosexuals and gays, they're agitating for the right for freedom and equality all over the world. They don't carry guns. No one has killed them or arrested them or said, hey, I don't agree with your way of life. The same way that Boko Haram under Mohammed Yusuf was busy agitating for the caliphate, campaigning, going through their rallies, but as usual, the politicians, they got jealous. As usual, they rose up and said, oh, kill him. Do you know that the leader of Boko Haram was killed, Mohammed Yusuf, for no reason? For no reason, he was killed. And as a result of his death, his followers got angry and they picked up arms. But today, some of you fools, when you condemn Boko Haram, you don't go back to the beginning to blame those who are responsible. The same way that we are being provoked every blessed day, IPOB is being provoked every day. And Britain is there, they are watching. The zoo is there, they are watching. Their Senate, their law courts, everybody is watching. Do you think if you arrest 67 people, you will stop us from doing what we are doing? Is that what you think? Seriously? The day we pick up arms now, all of you idiots, some of you fools, some of you efulefus will cut the story and you won't start from the beginning. They must release those they're holding. The same way that I campaigned for the release of everybody who has been detained, I don't care if you're a Biafran or not. The zoo is a failed state. Nigeria is a man-made produce. It is a hopeless British contraption meant to trap you fools, you niggers, you African demented fools,
You walk on 2 legs, you have 2 hands, you claim you have brain, but most of you are foolish beyond human redemption. Who opposed Adema should release those he arrested. That stupid police commissioner in Imo State must. Why are you parading people who have not been proven guilty of anything? I don't understand. And you have journalists that claim they went to school. They call them the fourth estate. They are supposed to be the custodians of the consciousness, or should I say, the conscience of society. The police commissioner called you for a parade of people that committed no crime, no guns, nothing. And you idiots, including the BBC, you fools that claim you're journalists, you Neanderthals, you bastards, you went to go and condemn innocent people that did nothing. That is the brain of a black man. That is why it makes me, sometimes I ask God, why did he make me a black man? These people, they irritate me, they make me sick. I see them and I want to vomit. You arrested people. None of these useless journalists were able to ask the police commissioner, what did these people do? What is their crime? They are going to a native doctor. Is going to a native doctor a crime? Where is it a crime, I ask? Where on this earth is it a crime to go to a native doctor? You went to a native doctor. You go to native doctors to go and do your jazz to try to retain power. Is that not correct? I am asking, when did it become a crime for somebody to visit a native doctor? That is why you arrested 67 people and you locked them up for no reason. And people are there waiting. I don't know I can't understand. No wonder God gave over black man to white people to use as they want. The way a black man reasons it is frightening. You are a journalist, you went to School of Journalism. Some of you went to university, that idiotic establishment, BBC, those fools. And some of you idiots that listen to me, some of you idiots that go and like their page and patronize them. God will punish all of you. People are evil. You're bringing evil into our land. You don't know BBC is evil. You are so stupid, you're so demented, you don't know BBC Igbo is evil. You don't know that, you don't understand that. You don't know they brought them in to conquer you. You are so foolish. You are daft. You don't know anything. They arrest your brothers, they arrest your sisters. This level of stupidity we exhibiting with innocent men and women arrested is the same nonsense. That was why Fulani can come to our land and kill and rape our mothers and we do nothing every blessed day. And you have a governor, a sitting governor. All he does is to arrest his own people. All he does is to keep giving signal to Fulani, come and take us over, because the idiot wants to be a vice president. You people are there condoning all this evil on a daily basis, and you want to be regarded as human beings. We are opening the line now, please, so that you can call. And as usual, please, when somebody is on the line, don't try to. I blocked some people this morning. Before I came on air, people were busy calling. So that means you don't want to listen to the gospel, you don't want to hear, you don't want to learn anything. Your concern is to hear your voice on radio. That is your concern. I don't know what is wrong with it. I don't know what is wrong with black people. I have no idea what is in why we lack discipline. You wait for the lines to be open. And when somebody is talking on radio, try and listen. You may learn something from that person. That person may be saying exactly what you had in mind to say. You just keep quiet. But people will just be calling and calling and calling and calling. All they want to do is to air their views. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Of course it's not. But try and listen and try and learn. That is the only way you progress. That is the only way we can move forward. Let us take this call. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? We are live and direct and the world is listening. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning. My name is Oke Ejiofor. I'm from Anambra State, Idemili local government.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. My question goes like this. First of all, I have to thank you for coming down with Ohaneze and Debo. And another thing I want to ask, when This Biafra.
I'm listening. Go ahead. Have we lost you? Have we lost you? We have lost him. He wanted to ask a question, but unfortunately, he is no longer there. He is no longer there. We have lost him. We have lost him. As usual, our lines are clogged up. Please, I ask some of you to try and call us on Skype, please, if you can. You call us on Skype, because I don't know. As usual, the lines are clogged up and it has crashed. That is the very funniest thing about it all. It has crashed. And what we are now going to do is to please try and switch over to Skype. And that Skype is IPOB2020@outlook.com. IPOB2020@outlook.com. Our brother was talking to us, but unfortunately, we are no longer able to proceed. Let us go and take this caller who happens to be on Skype. The caller on Skype, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you're calling from. This is Radio Biafra.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Of course, I said I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm Chukukelo. I'm from Anambra State. I'm calling from Abuja, FCC.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for everything you've been doing. I thank you, and God will continue to guide and protect you until you get Biafra.
Yes, thank you.
So, I just want to make some contributions. We need to sensitize our people in America so that they will be these American elections that are coming, so that they will have to sensitize themselves and vote for Trump, because I believe that our freedom still lies on it. You know, this is a battle of life, light and darkness. We can all see that the spirits of darkness are solely against, Trump, because Trump is for us. And we really have to sensitize our people.
Your line is no longer clear. Your line is no longer clear, but I can understand precisely what you're saying. Are we to sensitize those in America, or are those in America to sensitize us? As I said, we have taken this, spirit of individualism to the extreme, to a very damaging extreme, I would say. It is not the duty of us to educate those. Those in America are supposed to know more than we do. They live with Trump. Anybody who doesn't understand that Trump means well for everybody, that person is a fool. Trump is the only one to ever come out openly to complain about the killing of non-Muslims in the zoo. Trump was the only person to host people in White House. People who are direct victims of terrorism and Janjaweedism in the zoo. It's only Trump. It was Trump that said no, that he will not give arms to Nigerian army because he knows they will use it to go and kill innocent people. Anybody who follows the news will hear Lai Mohammed yesterday complaining that the world doesn't want to give arms to them because of Trump. Had it been Obama, by now we'll all be dead. All of us will be cleared off. After all, Obama killed Gaddafi. Look at what Libya looks like today. Anybody who doesn't understand that Trump is like those of us, sometimes when you hear me speak, you would think I hate black people, I despise other people, or all that. That is rubbish. We are trying to get you to stand on your 2 feet to be able to reason properly. It is not hate, it's called tough love. What Trump practices is tough love, nothing to do with racism. Only a fool will see it otherwise. Had it been any other person, maybe Hillary Clinton or Obama there in office, by now our land will be overrun by Fulani terrorists. By now. All they need to do is to give money to Clinton Foundation, 500 million, and that's it. They should just tell him, go and do whatever you like. Trump is a good man, and we must try and support him. Because people say, oh, but it's been 4 years and Trump hasn't given you Biafra. I say, because some of you are very dumb. You don't understand the dynamics of international politics. You know nothing about international relations. You have no idea. After all, people don't go to school in the zoo. What they go to is glorified ignorance centers. They call them universities. They're ignorance centers. You go there to learn how to become ignorant. Trump cannot do anything for Biafra without USA Africa Desk, the policymakers, writing a report or memo saying time is now right to do XYZ. The whole world was against Southern Sudan when they started. Southern Sudan fought a war for 30 years and today they're independent. When Eritrea started, people were against them. Why did you pick up arms? Why are you fighting? Today, Eritrea is free. These are the things that our people don't understand. They have no brain. They have no clue. They don't understand what is going on. Until the State Department in America writes and says to Trump, something is wrong in Nigeria, Trump will do nothing. And mind you that Nigeria belongs to Britain. And ultimately, Trump will also go to Britain to ask Britain, what do you want us to do? And if Britain says don't do anything, they won't do anything because Nigeria belongs to Britain. You think Nigeria belongs to you? You are daft. Nigeria belongs to Britain. Britain does whatever they want. Don't you know that? Let us take this call, please. I have another caller who happens to be on Skype. This very caller, can you hear me? The caller on Skype, can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. Let's take another one. The caller on Skype, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you're calling from, please, if you may.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, great Biafrans all over the world. Lovers of freedom, friends of Biafrans, I would proceed. I don't know if I'm coming out.
You're coming out very clear. Please go ahead. Ask your questions, please. Go ahead. Please, very briefly, because a lot of people are waiting. Go ahead.
Okay, Mazi, good morning once again. I just want to use this opportunity to draw your attention based on the recent developments in your programs where people are calling your attentions to certain issues that please you should also endeavor to look holistically at applied here in the family in Akwa Ibom State. I wouldn't want to say much, not to prejudice what is ongoing, but we call on your attention here so that at the end of the day, we don't lose it here in Akwa Ibom. You have spoken to us, you have made attempts to reach out to us, but many of us are still feeling frustrated here. I remain Usoro, Daniel Usoro.
Why are you frustrated? Why is it people dragging for position? I've made it very clear before. When somebody comes and begins to say something bad about the coordinator, and that person wants to assume the position of that coordinator and won't allow any changes to take place. I have said this time and time again. If you have legitimate concern, what people tend to do sometimes is that they think that they can build. Also, are you listening to me? Are you listening? Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Good. Now listen very carefully. People think that they can build cabal. They can go and get their friends. You know, the coordinator in this senatorial zone can go and align with other coordinators in other senatorial zones. Now they form a cabal. If one of them does something wrong and you remove the idiot, then the rest will start agitating for him. He must stay there. I ask people, do you think that Biafra is going to be like the zoo? It can never be. Once you are power hungry, and you are agitating for your coordinator to be removed because you want to take over or you're doing it for your friend to take over, I will say no to it. But if the concerns you're raising is legitimate, because I understand that in some areas in Akwa Ibom that the people are delving into...
Mazi, yes. Based on what you have said, I think that is the information you are getting is not entirely the truth, what is happening.
No, we are investigating. We are looking into what is happening in Akwa Ibom, and we are going to resolve it. Usura, listen to me very carefully. We are looking into what is happening in Akwa Ibom. We are going to resolve it. The thing with our people is that once you say to somebody, it is a disease with an African man, you have served, as I keep saying, every blessed day. If there were to be an organization more resolute, more formidable, somebody who can do this job better than myself, I will stand down. But I have not seen any. Since we started, I have not seen any. Because it is actually, this job sucks your life away. It drains your blood. You don't sleep at night. You always worry. If it is not one problem, it's another. People are being arrested. People are being shot. People, family members that fell, that children have to go to school. You have to pay their fees and all the rest of it. There is so much problem every blessed day. And I say to people that leadership is not just going there and saying to people, oh, why don't you pay dues? It is about what you can produce, what you can generate, what you can get the people to do for the advancement of our people, for our cause. And in the issue of Akwa Ibom is going to be dealt with. But if people are agitating for the removal of a coordinator just for the sake of it, the answer is no. But if a coordinator is found wanting, of course, they will be coached, they will be advised, they will be disciplined as to how best to handle it. They cannot do it because not everybody is qualified to lead. Sometimes people think that leadership is easy. You just come out, oh, I want to lead, but they cannot do it. That is why there are no other people like us. As I wrote yesterday, people think that it's easy. You can open a radio station, you start talking, and then people will follow you. You start leading a mass movement. It doesn't work that way. They try, and after 6-7 months, they collapse. They know it's not easy. People were driven away, were expelled from IPOB. They thought if they go and open a radio station sounding like Radio Biafra, that they will get the following and the mass followership they need to become relevant. Today, they have collapsed. They cannot do it. There are people who have inflated opinion of themselves. You think that because you're doing something and people are saying, oh, you're doing very well, oh, you're doing very well, oh, you're this. Because of that, it goes into your brain and you think you've arrived. You go out on your own and you see that you're irrelevant. That's how life is. The issue of Akwa Ibom will be resolved before Sunday. Sunday is only 2 days away. Before Sunday, a very heavy announcement will be made regarding Akwa Ibom, but we must learn to be together. That is why there is no party politics in Africa. That is why you have dictatorships in Africa, because we don't know how to follow. We don't know how to be disciplined. We don't know how to criticize and remain objective about it. Please, these are the things we ought to learn. It is a lesson that we are all prepared to learn regarding Akwa Ibom. And Akwa Ibom is very strong, I must tell you. Very, very strong. And we want that strength to continue. Thank you very much. And before Sunday, it will be resolved. I have another caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mazi. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Oh, my name is Bright Daniel. I'm calling you from New York.
Bright Daniel. This is a very beautiful name.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. I have a question.
Go ahead.
My question goes like this. Is there in any way, this is just like a reassurance, because our eternal leader, Tim Odumegwu Ojukwu, whom people were really hoping on, that when he will come back, that he will bring back Biafra.
Yes.
But lo and behold, he came back, and people lured him to Nigeria.
Yes.
People lured him to being, because to me, I still believe that Tim Odumegwu Ojukwu has not been buried. Because when I see them covering his coffin with Nigerian flag, I felt so bad. So my question to you is this. Is there in any way that you will be ever lured into agreeing to anything Nigerian? That's number one question.
No, hold on to your questions, because we are going to have a conversation. You raised an issue that I've been expecting people to raise for a long time. But sometimes maybe we forget, or when we call, we become over exuberant and we forget. You have raised, keep your other questions, don't forget them, please. Let me answer this one you've just raised. Our eternal leader, Tim Odumegwu Ojukwu, was in Ivory Coast. Even as a child, I was hoping, the stories my father used to tell me, I felt that one day this Messiah is going to come, from Ivory Coast and save everybody. That was what I used to think as a child. I used to think that Ojukwu will come back one day and all of us will be saved, right? It didn't happen that way. And I will tell you what happened. It is exactly what they have tried to do to me. Exactly the same thing. I had meeting with governors and with some elders. They said you must renounce. There's a way you do it. You do this, you do that, you do that. You contest, you float political party. You have the followership. People will vote you in. Maybe you can become a senator, or maybe Abia state governor. You know, the same rubbish. And I said no. They asked me, why am I saying no? Why do I keep saying? I said to them, because the man that I revere and respect, Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu, you promised him the same thing. He came back. He was then and still till now the most popular man in the whole of the zoo political space, Nigeria. He came back. In Nnewi, he lost election to a non-entity. To a non-entity. Senatorial election, he contested and he failed. They rigged him out. I know those who were instrumental in rigging out Ojukwu. So the same thing they're asking us to do now, IPOB, they asked our leader to do, Ojukwu. He did it, and they rubbished him, they messed him up. You know what the Fulani said after that? They said, oh, look at the man you call your icon. He's your leader, he's your general, he led you in war. Look at him, ordinary Nnewi senatorial district, he couldn't win. He failed to a man called Onwudiwe. Go and look at it anywhere. So that, you see, I am a student of history. I allow myself to be guided by history, what has happened in the past. But when they call BBC Igbo to talk about their rubbish Igbo presidents, all that garbage, they never remind them that our leader came back, they lured him into zoo politics. That was why I said no to zoo politics. But you know one thing our people are very good at? Once they give you advice that is wrong and you say no, they go up and say, oh, he doesn't listen to people. He doesn't want to hear he doesn't listen to advice. Whenever they're saying somebody doesn't listen to advice, it's because that person has failed to compromise. These are the things I want our people, our hardcore Biafrans to understand, because they're the ones that will lead us to freedom, not all the flavors by the side. It is the hardcore that will lead us to freedom, not the idiots by the side. Do you understand? On no, they have given me everything and I said no. They came to DSS to give me, I said no. They came to prison, Kuje, I said no. They came to my house, I said no. They called me governor's meeting, I said no, I don't want anything. All I want is freedom. All I want is Biafra. Why do you think I had issues with Chief Nyawodo? Why do you think I had issues with him? Because of the same thing. I said, that way people are going, Ojukwu went that way. They rubbished him. Look at Imo State. See what they did to him in Imo State. The same political process. You join, after a while, you vote. After voting, they declare whoever they like as their winner, and that's the end of the game. So I will never join any zoo politics. I will never stop fighting for Biafra. Listen to me very carefully. My father, my mother died as a result of this. I have lost men as a result of this. IPOB family members that I was close to have died. They did not die for one Nigeria. They did not die for Nigerian party politics. They died fighting for freedom. And that freedom we are going to get on their behalf. Your next question, please.
Thank you. So the reassurance is that even if they call you to make you Nigerian president, that you always stand on Biafra. Because I want to know the reason why somebody will stand and say, I am dying for Biafra because my leader has said. So you have clarified that. So my second question.
They gave me vice presidency. Go and ask DSS. They gave me vice. They said they'll make me the vice president of the zoo. I should drop my agitation. This happened in October of 2015, and I said no, I won't drop it. Ask them. That was the day I gave them the advice about building railways, and they're now building railways everywhere. Ask them where the advice came from my meeting with DSS in Abuja, and I told them I don't want anything from them. Please go ahead. The next question.
Good. Thank you. My second question is this. We do not know, and you have to teach us. You have really taught us a lot. We all appreciate. At this point, I am thinking that what we need from you is this. What do we do? Not for my sake. You have promised to answer every question here honestly and yes, to clarify everything. So, what do we do? What do we do? I know that you have suggested that.
Let me tell you what we are going to do.
Come up in March.
Listen. Listen. Are you listening to me? I want to answer your question. You said, what do we do? You've asked the question, and I will answer it. It's exactly what we are doing now. We need to enlighten, sensitization. As I said before, we had no mass media during the war. That was why we lost. Now, by the very special grace of the Most High, that is social media, we have our own radio station, we have our own TV. At least to an extent, we are now offering what I'll call an alternative narrative to the lies and the deception of the zoo and their British handlers. You are fighting against powers and principalities that you cannot see. This is the thing about people don't understand. Biafra is not a stroll in the park. I have said this many times, allow me to repeat. You are fighting enemies and powers that you cannot see. They understand that Biafra is the gateway to progress in Africa, and sitting on Biafra and stifling Biafra is the only way to ensure that Black Africa remains poor. That was when Britain came, they saw the light in our land, especially after the fall of Arochukwu. And they decided to name us darkness, which is what nigger is. Nigger means darkness, you cannot see. That was a way of Britain saying that they are putting off that very light that God has planted in the land of Biafra, that light of hope to the whole of Africa. That was why when our leader rose up, Ojukwu, something told him to put the rising sun where, if you look at our flag, you've seen Biafran flag, I'm sure you have it. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Go and look at the black strip. Ask yourself, why did Ojukwu put the sun at the strip where there is black in the flag? Why did he not put the sun on the red or the green or on top of it? Why did he put it where on that aspect of our flag where there is a black line? Why? Because we represent the light in the continent of darkness. We are the hope of the whole black race all over the world. That was why that rising sun was placed there. And it is the duty of some people to make sure that Biafra doesn't come. I've said this thing to you before. I have met officials of the UN, and I asked them a point-blank question, the same way you're asking me. Why is it that you don't want to discuss Biafra at the UN? He said that he has tried his best. Anytime he goes into a meeting and tries to raise the issue of Biafra, people will just walk away. That there is something about Biafra that gets into people and they walk away. And we know those who are doing it. What we are doing is what we're doing now. We sensitize our people and we are going to march eventually. I don't want to keep pronouncing all these things all the time. I've been saying it. And we are going to have our own referendum. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. We are going to have our own referendum in time. And mind you that we have enemies both outside and within. People who, out of ignorance, a combination of ignorance, of self-hatred, of envy, greed, jealousy, ignorance, and stupidity, or should I say self-aggrandizement, they want to perpetuate the rule of the Fulani because that allows them to remain relevant. Like you see the likes of Hopus or the man, all the rest of them. You can see that. So when you are dealing with multiple enemies from everywhere, you guard your main plan very jealously and very carefully. That is why we have made progress this far. But I'm telling you this. Number one, we sensitize our people, which we are doing now. Number two, we are going to have a referendum. And number three, we are going to march.
My last question.
Go ahead.
My last question. Are we having any leadership crisis in IPOB?
No.
And do you have a standby government that can immediately take effect as soon as Zoo collapses, or planning to set up a government when Zoo collapse?
Now, the first one is no. There can never be. IPOB is one family. People have views, as you expect it to be. People have views, and I don't want to stifle every opinion. People are allowed to hold divergent views within IPOB, but not to the extent of trying to rock the boat. If they do, the person will be off. I don't care who you are. If you rock the boat, you'll be off. You open multiple Facebook accounts, you'll be yapping rubbish from now till the kingdom come. After 7-8 months, you fizzle out. There were people that felt that they were all and all within the movement. I expelled them. They left. Today, they are begging to appear on shows being run by sex traffickers. That's how it is. Once you leave IPOB, you lose relevance. There can never be any leadership crisis because we are one family. People have need to voice their frustration is entirely up to them. But within IPOB family, it doesn't go out. Secondly, you asked about forming a government. When our people give us the mandate, we shall do so. The mandate hasn't been given to us yet. And we are dealing with die-hard Republicans. Biafran people are Republicans. You hear people always tell me, oh, have you consulted us? I can go and consult the Amainabo of Okreka. But if I don't consult everybody within that very area, you have not done any consultation, because we are Republican in nature. Everybody wants to be carried along. That is why sometimes it looks as if, there are disagreements here and there. No, everybody wants to be carried along. It is in our nature. That is the way we are as a people, because we are Democrats, and you don't blame them. So that is why we keep explaining every day. There are some things that we are doing that some people may not know. Though they may be in the hierarchy, they won't know, because it's for their own good. It is not everything that everybody knows. I am the one who knows everything. People know what I want them to know in order to preserve the sanctity of the movement and to stop people from outside from penetrating and destroying us from within. We shall form a government when our people give us that very mandate. And I'm not going to tell you how that mandate is going to come, because if I say it now, our enemies will go and block that very access. But it's going to come very, very soon, and the world will be shocked. Our plans are intact, and we are moving along. Thank you very much for calling.
All the people that died, I know you will never forget. All the people that have lost their lives for this Biafra, you will never forget. Thank you, and you are a savior. Thank you, Hamadike.
Thank you very much. How can I forget? When Biafra comes, we are going to establish our people in such a way that everybody who lost a loved one in this very effort, the wife or husband or children or whatever, by the time Biafra comes, where they will live, the richest millionaires will not live there. Where they live, the people that sacrifice, where they will stay, where they will live, the area where they will live, people who are multi-billionaires cannot afford to live there. We can't abandon those that fought for us. Did I abandon our veterans? Until I came in 2014 to start 30th of May remembrance. Was it happening before? If I can remember those that fought, the class of 67 to 70, when I was a baby, if I can remember those that fought then, how about those that fought with me now and fell beside me? How can I forget them? It's not possible. You know that. You know me very well. You know it's not possible. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you're calling from. And your questions, please. I want difficult questions this morning. Very, very difficult, please. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Good morning, sir. My name is Young Gonofeaga from Esam, Biafra, but I live in Germany.
Thank you very much.
Coming from Scotland, yeah. So first, I want to thank you, sir, for everything you've been doing. You've been doing a great job, and I want all our Biafran people, those that believe in freedom, to stand by you. They shouldn't listen to what our enemies are saying, because we have enemies everywhere.
Yes.
Like you said, me also, I discovered that to live with black people is not easy.
It is not.
One of our biggest problems is jealousy and hatred. One would be saying, why not me? The last time I was asking someone, I said, ever since Nnamdi, Kanu and IPOB have not come out, have not started fighting for freedom, where have all of you been? Because the only people that have the mind, we know it, is IPOB, is Biafran, is IPOB, is you. We know the people that have this mind. Because Nigeria government, everybody know them. Nobody were able to talk to them, not until the IPOB issue emerged. Not until you come out, not until the Biafrans, we know them. So I told these people, I said, you should keep your jealousy. Let's come together as one. I don't believe in Niger Delta this, Niger Delta that. Is all bullshit, because you can't do it. Look at Nnamdi Kanu. He's been doing a great job. Despite people are trying to spoil his name, we know our people. Their mind is full of jealousy. So, sir, I want to thank you for everything you've been doing. And I'm using this medium to talk to every Biafran and everyone that believes in freedom. My Esan brother, my Benin brothers and sisters, the people from the Niger Delta, or so-called Niger Delta, because I don't believe in it. We are all Southeast. We are Biafrans. We should all come together, because division cannot help us. And you are doing a great job to bring us together. And I so much thank God today, many people are beginning to realize their mistake, that all we need is unity to conquer these people that are coming after us. Because one person can't do it alone. We need unity to conquer them. But, sir, I want to ask one question, sir. what do you think we need to do to push these people back? Because we know the terrorists are terrorists. They are not good people. Me, I never even like any of them. It's the fact. Right from time I'll be preaching this, that these people, they are not good people. I'll be saying it as well to some of my friends. But I thank God today, most of them, they all believe in IPOB and Biafra.
Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Let me deal with the issues that you raised.
Okay.
First of all, you can never ever stop a black African man from being the devil that he is. I say it without any apologies to anybody.
It's true.
Black men behave like demons. Let me put it to you this way. Listen carefully, every good leader Africa ever had, with the exception of Nelson Mandela, was assassinated.
Yeah, I know.
Their assassination was facilitated by their own people. Is that not correct?
Yeah, it's true.
Yes,
yeah, it's very fast.
Good.
It's true, yeah.
We remember the issue of the very handsome, vibrant Thomas Sankara that came out to prove to the whole world that a black man can reason. He didn't do it by rhetoric. He went in and transformed his country, Upper Volta, Burkina Faso, built it overnight, that they started to export food. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm hearing you, sir. Of course.
They used his best friend, Blaise Compaoré, to kill him.
Yeah.
Look at Patrice Lumumba and Mobutu Sese Seko.
Yeah.
That is in a black man. A black man cannot take it away from himself. Do you know that Nzoukou was planned by Britain? One day, the day I'll reveal it, people will go mental. Do you know that the coup of 1966 was planned by Britain? Now, you heard of that?
Yeah, you are very right, sir.
Do you know why they planned the coup?
No, sir.
Because Biafra land, all of us, the East, under Dr. Michael Okpara, listen to this, was the fastest growing economy in the whole world. Okpara was growing the economy of the Eastern region at the rate of 40% every year. I didn't say 4%, 40%, 40% every year. It was the fastest growing economy in the world. Do you know what Michael Okpara did? Michael Okpara had steel works. Michael Okpara was producing cement. Michael Okpara was building ceramics. Michael Okpara was producing steel in Enugu. Michael Okpara was industrializing. In other words, we are manufacturing the things we are consuming. Britain said no. Even this one Nigeria cannot hold this over back. Let's spoil it. That was why they planned the coup. Are we aware of that?
Yeah, you are very much aware.
Now, you see, listen to me, my dear brother.
Yeah.
The enemies will try to divide us. Some of us will provide a willing vessel and tool for the enemy to use. Look at our governors. You look at Edo State. What is that guy's name? Isaiah Yamu or whatever he's called. He's a pastor.
Yeah, Isaiah Yamu.
In the church. Like a Baja Biamila, whatever he's called. Baja Biamila was a Christian, but to become the Speaker of the House, of Reps, he converted to Muslim. This is the sitting pastor, carrying Bible every day, telling you about miracle. But in order to get elected as Edo governor, he had to convert to Islam. Look at him wearing the Fulani garb. Yeah. Do you know why he traveled to go and beg Fulani people? Because he knows that those people who are going to vote in Edo are not the ones to decide who is going to be governor. Those that decide who is going to be governor, they live in Sokoto, they live in Katsina, they live in Abuja, they are Fulani. They are the ones who are going to write the results. He went there to go and beg them. Did you see it? Ask yourself, why? Now, the reason I'm saying all these things is because it's a bit of a diversion, but I will say it is because our people need to understand not to allow themselves to be a willing tool for the enemy to use. I keep going back to the issue of Afonja and the Lorin, how the Yoruba, the Duduwaris lost a Lorin, so that people can learn from history. I go to the experience of the Hausa people, how the Hausa people lost their land to Emirates, so that people can learn that your treachery, the sabotage you're engaged in today, the saboteur work you're doing today will ensure that your village becomes an emirate 100 years down the line. And when your village becomes an emirate, they will not remember an idiot like you. And lastly, let me say this to you. A brother wrote to me yesterday. You know what he said to me?
Yeah.
Anything you're doing about Biafra, and Benin is not a part of that Biafra, you're wasting your time. This is somebody from Edo writing to me, saying that anything you're doing and you forget Benin as part of Biafra, you're wasting your time. That's what he said.
It's true.
And I go back this morning to remind people that that name, Igodo, the key that unlocks the key, is very, very deep. It's a very deep name. And any day we understand it, I believe that Biafra will be at our doorstep. Thank you very much for calling.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I remain blessed. Thank you very, very much. We have another caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me? Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good morning, Sir Onyendu.
Good morning to you.
My name is Obni Emobin Debeze. I am from Ihala. Ihala is Nolo province, Biafra land. Right now, I'm calling you from Liberia.
Thank you very much.
Thank God I have the opportunity of getting you online this morning.
You're lucky.
Thank God also for the work that you're doing for the whole humanity. If West African people are listening, I want them to listen and listen good. Because the work you're doing is not only for Biafra, but for the entire West African region.
Yes.
There is a grand star plan by the Fulani Janjaweeds to Islamize the entire West Africa, to bring in the Wahhabist religious sect in West Africa. Nigeria is the small screen, the starting point. Next will be Ghana, and after Ghana will be Liberia, where I am residing now.
Yes.
As these countries, I see the influx of the Fulanis everywhere. If they think they cannot talk the president of Ghana, if he's listening, or somebody that can take the message to him. If the president of Liberia is listening, or somebody can take the message to him. If they cannot stop and start talking, if they cannot start talking about the Biafran freedom, they are doing it to themselves. Let them go to Burkina Faso now and know what is happening in Burkina Faso.
Exactly.
It is a starting point. Because they see Nigeria, that is where the resources come from.
Yes.
And if they get the whole resources, to get the whole West Africa is at their fingertip before they get to Africa.
God bless you.
So,
God bless you. One of the best scholars I've ever had. God bless you. Go ahead. Yes.
Is to restore Biafra, to go to their meeting, their United Nations meeting, their OAU meeting, their West African Regional ECOWAS meeting, and talk about restoration of Biafra. Because that is the only salvation the whole West Africa and Africa will get. But if they fail to do it, the Fulanis, the Arab war, will swallow the whole West Africa. Thank you, my leader. Thank you, my leader. It is really Chukwuka that brought you.
Thank you very much, my dear brother.
The problem that we have here in Liberia.
What is it?
I want to bring it to
Is it IPOB family? Is it IPOB family problem?
Biafra, especially the call Igbo people.
Yes.
Once you hear that money is not being sent to the rightful place that is supposed to be sent, it demoralizes the other people that want to pay their dues. There are two elements here that are in the habit of telling people that we have no connection with headquarters in Germany and we don't remit our money to them. Please, our leader, I want you to give the clarity about what is happening so that the people we have been trying to get more people here, even when our the former leader that met you, the coordinator that met you in New York, Chus Edwin,
yes,
they scandalize, demoralize his name and want to ridicule him. But we stand strong. Thank God for the able coordinator that we have here now that is carrying the affairs of IPOB so strong.
IPOB Liberia is very strong, and everybody must support it.
They want to bring to nothing all we are doing.
No, they cannot succeed. They cannot succeed. And thank you very much, my dear brother. They can never, ever succeed. Liberia is very strong. All of you must support our coordinator. We have West Africa coordinator anyway, and all that will be sorted. These things, they're bound to happen. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? I have a caller on the phone. Can this caller hear me? No. The caller on the line, can you hear me? No. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Your name and where you're calling from? Can you hear me for the last time? Can you hear me? Yes, your name and where you're calling from?
Yes. My name is Sunday Chinakwe. I'm calling from Los Angeles.
From Los Angeles. Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
My leader, I shall be well with you.
And you too.
Right from the very first day I met you in the meeting in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I have handshake with you. Automatically, my life changed. You are a God sent.
You are blessed.
And then I call you my Lord. I always call you my Lord. Because you make me...
We are listening. Please go ahead. We are listening. The whole world is listening. Go ahead.
You make me feel and believe that you are God sent. My question this morning to you is there any way that we can call our people, like, for example, the kings, like we have from Ibaki, we have from Umunene,
yes,
we have from Abo,
yes,
we have from Igede,
yes,
we have from we have from Ibodo, we
yes,
have from Ogwashiku,
yes,
we have from Mbiri, we have from Mbake, you know, from, let's say, from Igodomigodo to Enugu State.
Yes. Or say to Ogoja, all the way to Ogoja, in fact.
Yes, all the way to here. Thank you. Is there any way that we can meet those traditional rulers, those kings?
We are doing so already, but on the ground. Because if you do it in the open, the governor will run to Fulani and say, "Will you give me vice president?" Fulani will say yes. Then he will now go back and depose all those people who are working with us. We are doing it, but in secret and in private. I talk to traditional rulers. I do. Everywhere. Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Edo, everywhere I talk to them. But it's in secret. Because once you make it open, you see, if our couple will go and say, "Oh, make me vice VP," he wants to make me VP, I'll stop what Nnamdi and IPOB are doing, and I'll sack all those traditional rulers. If you bring them out in the open, all of them will be deposed the next day. That is the type of environment we're living in, but I'm talking to them. I can assure you, and 80% of them are with us. Did you see the one sharing money at the home of Atta Eze? Did you see it? The one sharing money.
Yes, I saw the video.
Are they also included in traditional rulers? These are criminals. You see, that is what our people don't understand. When we speak the way we do, people deliberately misunderstand us. And the reason why it is easier to misunderstand and try to demonize what we are doing is because the brain of some black people are not advanced enough to appreciate what is called critical appraisal of their individual and collective performance. If I'm doing very badly and you advise me, I take it. It may come in any form and I will take it. But back home, it is not like that. If we try any attempt to gather them in the open, hey, they will not only send the army to bomb the place because Britain is there to cover up for them. What they would is they'll say to the governors, "Go and sack all of them," and they'll be sacked. And look at the governors that we have. So that tells you all you need to know. So we are doing that, but very, very secretly. We don't want people to know what we are doing. That is why Biafra is there. That is why IPOB is everywhere. We are all over the place. We are uncountable. We are all over the place. And as our brother said, we have what it takes to assume the governance. Say the zoo collapses precipitously tomorrow. We have what it takes to raise a government. We have what it takes to raise an army, to defend our land and also to govern it. And of course, not to govern, but to call for elections and organize our place properly. Because the people will always decide in the land of Biafra. The people are paramount. The people will always decide. And I thank you very much, my dear brother, for calling. Thank you very much. From Los Angeles, it must be very close to midnight in Los Angeles around about now. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? This caller on the line, can you hear me for the last time? No. The caller on the line from Germany, can you hear me? No, I can hear your line. The caller on the line, can you hear me? No, there is a noise at the back. Yes, your name and where you're calling from, please.
Oh, good morning, my leader.
Good morning.
My name is Adeola.
Adeola, yes.
Yes, I'm calling from Dublin.
From Dublin, thank you very, very much.
Yes.
Adeola,
yes.
I am not your leader. Before your people will start complaining that I'm taking over your land, please. You are Adeola, you're Oduduwa, is that correct?
Yes, I am Oduduwa.
Oh, please, your leaders are the very great man that I respect very much. Paya Debanjo, Akintoye, what's it called again? The Alafin of Oyo, the Oni of Ife, Eba, Gani Adams, and all the rest of them, please. You and I are brothers. They are your leaders, please. Before they say I'm encroaching into Oduduwa territory, which I'm not, of course. You are my brother. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Well, I've been following you since 2014.
Are you serious?
And yes.
You're a man following me since 2014. Why
yes,
have you ever been upset with me to stop following me?
Yeah, well, in the past, I can assure you, sir. I wasn't in good relationship with the Igbo people.
Wow.
And I can remember when I was going to the university, an Igbo person helped me with my admission. So, the relationship wasn't there. But since 2014, when I started following you, I was like, no. Somebody that stands with the truth, somebody that knows the truth, that believes in the truth, you liberated me. That's why I called you my leader, because all these people you mentioned did not liberate me. You liberated me. You opened my eyes to a lot of things. So that is why I called you my leader.
Can you speak Yoruba?
Yes, of course, I'm a Yoruba person.
Speak Yoruba, let me see. Say what you have just said now. Say it in Yoruba language, let me see.
Okay, káàárọ̀ sà, báwo ni gbogbo nǹkan sà? Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ o. Láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ wá mi ò ń ṣọ̀rẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn Igbo, but nígbà tí mo ti ń tẹ̀lé yín, ẹ ti là mí lójú, ẹ ti fún mi ní òmìnira láti gbọ́n pé èmi àtàwọn Igbo ọ̀rẹ́ ni wá.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. I would like to ask that before the amalgamation of Nigeria, has there been any relationship between us and yourself, like that between the Yorubas and the Igbos? Do you know if there has been sort of a relationship? Because I know that a lot of people are saying that even with the Bini, then some of the Yoruba part and all of us, we've been together and all of that. But before now, I don't know about it, but do you know that if there's a relationship between us in maybe 1914 and all of that, before the coming of Nigeria, are you aware of any relationship between us?
What I do know is that, as I said many times before, there was a traditional ruler, of the Kingdom of Omo Opara in my land.
Yeah.
I spoke to the man in 2009. And I spoke to him on the phone. He was telling me about the relationship between the Igbos and the Yoruba people. And I asked him how. He said he went to a traditional rulers meeting, council meeting in Abuja. And he was sat next to his Ekiti counterpart, another traditional ruler from Ekiti State, yes, from Ekiti. Ekiti State. And apparently they have the same surname. The same surname and the same meaning. So we didn't pursue it any further. But recently, and I have also preached in the past before I go to what I want to say now. The movement, our people came from two areas. There are the original ancient people who were in our land. Then when the Israelites left Egypt to travel to the land, to enter into the kingdom that God gave them, which is the land of Israel, some people came down through Sudan. They came down through Sudan and through Niger Republic and into Yoruba land, Yoruba territory. That's the migration continued all the way into our land. Now, this another phase came through Ethiopia and others. Then they founded the kingdom of Biafra, which is Reverend Biafra, according to history books. So the relationship is there. But if there were any formal exchange of emissaries, like emissary from one kingdom to the other, I do not know. I have not researched that hard. I have not gone there yet. But I believe, let me tell you this, I believe that the key lies in Edo State. I don't know why I strongly believe that there is something about Idu, something about Igodomigodo. There is a relationship between the Igbos and the Yoruba people that will be found if we dig deeper. So it's not just for me, it's for everybody. We want everybody, every scholar, to go and keep digging deep into Benin Kingdom, how everything happened. Do you know why I'm saying this? Can you hear me? Is it there? You can hear me. Yes, the speaker went off. Do you know why I'm saying this?
Okay.
Do you know why I'm saying this?
Yeah. Go on, sir.
Because all the Obis we have a relationship with Benin Kingdom all the way to the Obi of Onitsha. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And if the establishment of the Benin Kingdom is as a result, as a consequence of Yoruba input, if Yoruba is responsible, which we all know historically responsible for Benin Kingdom, and Benin Kingdom, all the Obis you have in our land, all the way to the Obi of Onitsha, they are the only ones that answer will be the rest answer Igwe or Eze. If there is a connection between the thrones that you have, the Obi of Onitsha, the one in Abo, and all the rest of them, all the way to the Oba of Benin, then there is a link. But as I said, it's something we're going to research very, very deeply and very, very heavily. But I think there is a link somewhere. And the Godomigodo is the key. That key that opens the key is what will lead us to the truth. And as somebody commented now, somebody was writing on my page right now that he believes the reason why Biafra hasn't come yet is because the whole truth hasn't been revealed. And that truth is in Edo State. That truth is going to be in Igodomigodo. That key that opens the key is where the whole world is going to know the final truth, and then after that, Biafra will come. I believe that very strongly. Yes.
I agree to, sir. I agree to, sir. I'm so happy to talk to you this morning, sir. Because I've been calling for a very long time. I said no. To correct something, I'm a woman, and I told my husband that I am going to Biafra because I'm tired of Nigeria, and if he's not ready to go, I'm going.
Is your husband a Biafran? Is your husband a Biafran?
No, he's a Yoruba man. He's a Yoruba man, and I told him I'm going, and I'm going to tell Mazi Nnamdi to change my name to whatever name, Igbo name he chooses. If he's not ready to go, because I want to stand with the truth. Because know the truth and it shall set you free.
It's true.
That is it. That is what we need now. We need freedom. We've suffered for too long.
Let me tell you.
I took care of my parents. I'm taking care of my children. Who's going to take care of me?
It's true.
It is hard. So I'm going with Biafra if he doesn't mind. So
thank you very much, my sister. And let me say something to you. Let me say something to you again.
Yes, sir.
Why was it that when the British came, they amalgamated the Yorubas, the Oduduwas, and Biafran people into one country first? We were one country, you know that? Before.
Yes, absolutely.
Oduduwa, the East and the West were one country before the North came in. I don't know if you know that. Now, if they were one country before the North came, I keep asking myself this question. Why didn't Awo and Zeke come together and say to hell with this Janjaweed from the North? I don't know what they did. I can't understand what maybe the whole truth hasn't been revealed. Maybe, as our brother said, the whole truth hasn't been revealed. And in the Godomigodo, we're going to find it. Thank you very much, my dear sister, for calling. And for lightening up this. And for the, I wouldn't say for the first time, but today, Yoruba language has been spoken on Radio Biafra to show that we are accommodating. We want everybody to be free. Yes.
Thank God.
Yes, thank you very much, my dear sister. Thank you very, very much. We have a caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me? Your name and where you're calling from, please. The caller on the line, can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you're calling us from?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Women have now taken over. Good morning to you, please. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Faith Ogala Adobe Biafra Queen. I'm Agbo speaking Biafra.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I know you said last week who called last week shouldn't call this week.
Yes.
But I have something important to say.
Go ahead.
Great one.
Please.
Thank you so much. Yes. I'm calling from Italy and Genova to be precisely. Madike, there are some kind of things I would like you to look into, because there are some kind of people in Anioma, where I come from. They are constituting nuisance, like kind of calling Anioma people to divert attention from Biafra.
Yes.
They don't want people to follow up Biafra anymore or talk about IPOB, because Madike, as you can see, like I always said in my broadcast, that I laid down my life to restore my country. 50% alive, 50% in the other world. And why these 50% are with me? Because I want to use this 50% for restoration of Biafra and also to take care of my kids, because I have 2 kids who is so tender.
Yes.
They are still living. That's why I keep this 50%. So anything that has to do with Biafra restoration, I will go to any length, and I will do anything for Biafra restoration. So this thing is disturbing me too much since I had this thing, and since I know, even they blocked me in the group that I was, even the new one that they create for people not to talk about Biafra there, or for people not to talk about IPOB there. When they know that the way I'm so stubborn and all that, they block me from that place. I know I don't want to review who blocked me on air, because the person that blocks me know the himself. So what they are doing now, that anybody, Anioma or Agbo, any Eka-speaking person that is in IPOB, they are calling these people to divert attention and to tell the people, because as a black people, we are gullible, we are blacks, and we don't have that sense of reason. So people, when they hear as a leader, they hear some kind of things, or some kind of thing, like one of them called me and told me that you build a house in Africa there, like kind of I shouldn't criticize the pig. I shouldn't criticize that the man that is leading me he owns an apartment that you build a house in one of Africa. then I told him, I said, if you build a house, like what I respond to that person, I said, if you build a house, there is nothing bad in it, because the last time I checked, you don't have a home in contraction called Nigeria, because they come to kill you and destroy your home. So if you can't even go for now, because if you want to feel like Africa or anything, you want to feel Africa, because when we live in another country, sometimes we feel like going to Africa. It's not like me now that rejected country to go now, like call Nigeria. I will totally reject.
My dear sister, because others are waiting also, I want you to listen. Listen very carefully. Don't worry. No, don't worry. Listen. Please don't worry. Listen to me. Let me respond to what you just said. Do you know the actress? I'm coming. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Do you know the actress? I want to deal with the Anioma issue and people trying to deceive themselves. Do you know the actress called Stella Damasos? Or Damascus?
Yes.
Do you know her real name?
Sir.
Do you know her real name?
No.
Do you think Damascus or Damasos is her name? Or is it Damascus?
No, yes, I think so, because that was what I know when I was, I know the name.
When you were growing up.
Her name like that. Yes.
Her surname is Ojukwu. Her name is Stella Ojukwu, not Damasos.
My God.
So that's number one. So there is nothing like Anioma is a name, as you have maybe Jekebe or Wawa, but there is Igbo. Do you know why they changed their name to Damasos? Was during the war. They didn't want to be killed. When the Fulanese were coming in, the Janjaweed, the second army led by Murtala Muhammad was sweeping through the whole place and killing people. They asked them, what is the name? They said their name is Damasos. It's not Ojukwu, because they felt they would be killed. Are you aware of that?
My God.
Now,
no, sir.
I'm coming again. Let me tell you why these people fathered by the Janjaweed will do what they're doing. Do you know a musician called Bongos Ikwe? Do you know Bongos Ikwe? Have you heard of that name before? I don't know how young you are, but I used to listen to his music. Do you know a man called Bongos Ikwe?
No, maybe when I listen to the music, I will
go and Google it. He was a very big, very, very big musician, Bongos Ikwe. Do you know Babangida's wife called Miriam Babangida?
Yes,
that is
I know.
Now late.
I know.
Do you know her real name? Do you know her real name?
No.
Her real name is Ndidi.
Her real name is what?
Ndidi.
My God. Ndidi is from my place also.
Good. I'm coming. I want to let people understand what they don't know today. Ndidi is her name. Do you know how she became Babangida's wife?
No, sir. I don't know.
She was a trophy of war. She was not captured. Babangida took Ndidi away from Bongos Ikwe. Bongos Ikwe is the real husband that paid her bride price and married her. Babangida took Ndidi by force and married her by force. Are you listening to me very carefully?
I heard this, yes, I remember. It's through Radio Biafra, I know all this.
Good. It's as a booty of war. Good. Now, when the Fulanis were sweeping through Anioma and killing people as a result of the war, most of them turned into cowards, lily-livered cowards. People like, you see Loretta Onochie, the sex trafficker, that human trafficker. She used to move prostitutes from the zoo to Italy. That was her job before she got her new position with the zoo presidents. People like that, their brain became reformatted to see Fulani as their all and all, as people they're going to serve. Let me also tell you one thing. I now know the reason why some of us serve the Fulani and are as foolish as we are. You know that the Fulani sleep with their cow before they sell them to us. Are you aware of that?
Announcing it to the zoo that they should boycott Fulani.
Exactly. Fulani dominate and kill. They have sex. A man will ejaculate into an animal, and that cow is sold to Igbo people. They cut it up and they eat it.
Oh my God!
Now
there is one that even gave birth to half human being, half.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course, that is what is happening that our people do not know. That is the stranglehold the Fulanis have over some of them. So when you see a saboteur, be it from Anioma, be it from anywhere, a sabo will always, one is either fathered by a Fulani man. Now imagine that Babangida had just called Ndidi to the officer's mess, slept with her, impregnated her, and sent her back to Bongos Ikwe. She will give birth to a child for Bongos Ikwe, not knowing it is Babangida's baby. Do you understand? That was how some of these idiots were born in our land. And that is how you know a saboteur. That is how you know them. They are either fathered by the Fulani, or their family worked for them and will continue to work for them, or out of cowardice during the war, they renounced Biafra. They say, oh, Biafra or you die, or Nigeria. Choose one. Once you say Biafra, they shoot you dead. So
let me quickly use this platform to send a message to all my Agbo people, my Ika people. Please, I want you people to understand, anybody that called you and start telling you lies and all that you came in today, you just came in to join IPOB, you don't know what is under IPOB, please hang up the phone on them, because they are traitors and they want to divert your attention from the real truth, and because the only way is IPOB, the only way is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the only savior we got. Please do not miss out, because if you miss out, you will live to regret this. Please, Madika, another thing again, I would love to talk to you private. If you can call me after your broadcast, and anytime you have a chance, just call me, please, Madika, because I have.
Once this program ends, because I have about over nearly 6,000 calls, missed calls here. Yes. So just send me a message. and I will call you back immediately. Thank you very, very much for that, my dear sister. Thank you very much. I have a caller on the line. I've picked your call. Stay where you are, please. The caller on the line, I've picked your call. Please stay where you are. I'll come back to you in a minute. That's something that I want to address. I only have one house in my name in England that I bought in the year 2001. It is there in the land registry. I bought it in 2001. I won't give you the address, but anybody who knows the land registry in the UK can go there to have a look. That is the only house that I have in my name anywhere in the whole world. In the whole world, that's the only place I have my name. I stay in my father's house in the village because I have more than enough accommodation. I'm not a glutton. I don't suffer from avarice. I don't suffer from, what can I call it, insatiable accumulation of wealth. It has one bedroom, and that bed on it can take me and my wife, who can sleep comfortably on it. My children have their own rooms. So I have no need for a property anywhere, and I will never. You see, these are the lies, because they know that your minds, you people are so flimsy, you can be convinced very easily. That is why they keep churning out all this rubbish. Ask them to go and produce or provide the deed of anywhere they claim that I own a property anywhere in the world. You see, it's a lie. It's because they know that we are paying our consultants huge amount of money, so they're thinking, hey, once you pay, you know, a zoo, an animal in the zoo, once your budget is ₦1 million every year, and you are the controller of that budget, the money doesn't belong to you, you think you're entitled to about 800,000 of it. So that is why, or that is how they think that I am. I am not that way, and can never be. People give me money and I put it into IPOB. They do. Privately, they do. They say, support yourself with this, and I put it into IPOB. They say, oh, which I think there are, if I ask people now, people that come to me and say, which account should we pay money into? I want this money to come to you. I give them the German account number, or the one we have in the US, to pay it in there. Because I have no need for money. My reward comes when Biafra comes. When Biafra comes, I'm sure that Biafrans will build a place for me to live in, if they want to. But my father's house is there. That is upstairs. So what am I looking for again? What else do I need? All I want is Biafra. So all this stupid side talk is just garbage. Garbage, utter nonsense. They know that the mind of a black man is so tiny, so small. They won't tell you about your governors and your ministers looting billions. They won't tell you about that lady called Sadia that told you he fed all of you with 850 billion. No, all their houses in Dubai, their hospitals, those that stole money that was meant for Igbo-Enugu Expressway, they will not go after them. He's Nnamdi Kanu, who's not a politician. I don't control any office, but of course we expect it. We are very popular, and they're very jealous, and they can never be like us. How can they be? And the more they yap and gossip about us, the more the world knows about us. Nobody knows them. It is us that they know. So you shouldn't be unduly worried. But here we preach the truth. And that truth we are going to continue preaching. As I said earlier, I have a caller on the line. They've been waiting. This caller, give us your name and where you're calling us from, please.
My name is Ifoma Onyejiaka, known as Asapa. I'm from Oka. I live in London.
Thank you very much.
I have no question.
Go ahead.
Okay, I have no question to ask you, but what I'm saying is that may God Almighty bless you. My elder sister is a strong IPOP member in London here with Ozoka, and he said she will never go to Nigeria. He will never set her foot into Nigeria unless Biafra comes. And he had made it clear to everybody, nobody tries to get her to come back to Nigeria. He said never, it will never happen. Wonderful. I have no question, like I said. The only thing I'm saying, we are here together. We are in this struggle together. Whatever that comes with Biafra, I am in. If Biafra to go for war today, I will leave this country to go back to fight for Biafra, because my head is full. When I think of what is happening in Biafra land, it makes me go mental ill, and I don't want to take it anymore. I call you my Lord anyway I talk about Nnamdi Kanu. I am with you. We are with you. Uzoka said he would never leave to see anything happen to you, and he will make sure that Biafra comes, and we stand by that. I am so strong, and I am so strong. We can never leave. I am so happy today to speak to you. I have been trying since Utaka sent these messages to me. I am always trying, but sometimes work never allow me. And I'm so glad today I spoke to you face to face on the phone. I am so happy, and I will continue. We will continue in this struggle. We will continue, and Biafra will definitely come in Jesus' name. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear sister. Ise. We have another caller on the line, but of course, Uzoka is one of us. He's a hardcore, so he is one of us. I ask you to check the clip and the video of when we went to the EU. He is one of us. Hardcore, one of us. The caller on the line, can you hear me? The lines have crashed once again, but let's try and see. The caller on the line, can you hear me? I have a caller on the line, can you hear me? This person calls and he doesn't say anything. Plus 33604070182. Can you hear me? He's not saying anything. Very sad indeed. Or maybe the line has crashed. The line has crashed once again. Let us try again. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Please, your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Chupuchupuka. I'm calling from Germany.
Where in Germany are you? Which city are you in Germany?
Right now in Musterland.
Please raise your voice. We are listening. Thank you. Chupuka, thank you. Raise your voice and proceed. Go ahead.
Yeah, my leader. I'm from Ezugu in Ben local government, Abia State, in Biafra land.
Thank you.
Yeah, my leader. Thank you for this opportunity. And God bless you for the effort, because it's a different thing to be called, and it's a different thing to stand up and say how we do it. Yeah, God bless you for standing up for us and to be speaking for us and fighting for us. We are behind you. Yeah,
thank you.
Please, I want to make this point. Last session you had, you said you need 100,000 people like you.
No, 100, not 100,000, 100. Yes,
yeah.
And I've not found up to. I have not found up to 15.
Yeah. I want to tell you something. Yeah, look, in the Bible, either Elisha or Elijah said that to God when he was having problem with Jezebel and Ahab. That should be. He said to God, "I am the only person remaining in the Israel that has not bowed to bow." God said, "No, go back." I have about 700 people. There are so many people who are still worshiping me. I want to tell you this. Even the politicians who are there struggling, if you check their comments, they will say, if you don't give us presidency, we will join Nnamdi Kanu. They are part of you. Only that what they ate is on their neck. What they ate, the hook is on their neck. The hook, what they ate. Some of them we are videoed naked. Some of them we are videoed. I won't serve the politician. So what I'm telling you is out of what I know. They made some other things that they were recorded that they can't openly say, I'm Biafra, I'm this, that, because they will be linked with what they did. Some of them, the money have been found where they went and looked and studied, and they said, hey, if you talk, I will do this to you. I want to tell you this. We have more than 1 million Biafrans. Biafrans who are ready. Watch what happened in your house. People died. What happened in our barrister's place? People died. What happened in the Aba Umaya Road? People died. Yet, people are still standing. You have murder. What I want to tell you is that don't start looking at people, the saboteurs and the police. They must surely be there. Even if Biafra comes tomorrow,
they'll still be there, of course. They'll have foreign agencies who have spies now. Everybody, you have Biafrans who are spies for foreign agencies. Of course, even for Janjaweed. They'll be spies. Yes.
So, my leader, I want to tell you this. Because I always follow you and I always listen to you. And let me tell you on that thing. It's not a profession that makes me to follow you. I only see what I see through you. You are a woman. But God is working through you. Because when you are human, sometimes you will say certain things that people will say, he's making himself caught. Or if you are a human, people must surely make a mistake. Or must surely say something that is not on the line or beyond the logic. Yes? But the main thing is that you preach the truth. And that's why everybody is following you. Even the people who are following about they know the truth. Only that hunger. And we call it the truth. So, yes. My leader, please, any day you want to stand up and move, don't look back. You don't be scared.
And it's coming. That time is coming.
The Lord God, is with you. And please, one more thing. I want to tell you this. When you do when you talk about the Britain and all those things, I said, you have energy. I don't invest my energy talking about my enemies. Why would I talk about them? I'm a Christian. God says in their presence you should make my banquet table. So they have to be there. I pray to have them. Because when I have he told me, he said that in their presence you will make my banquet table.
Of course. Psalm 23. He prepared a table before my enemies. And my cup floweth over. You know what that means? The blessing is too much. Of course.
It's too much. So if you don't have an enemy, there will be no celebration. If you don't have enemies, there will be no celebration. So
we don't have any enemies. Some of these idiots that don't even exist. Some of these fools. There's something I'm going to publish. Do you know that Russia contracted some Ghanaian people to set up what I call social media war room in Accra, pretending that the Americans fighting fellow Americans, Republicans and Democrats. Are you aware of that? I have the clip, I'll show it. So some of these idiots, some of these names don't exist. They paid people in Israel, they paid some in Russia to be churning out all this rubbish, some of them with Biafran names, to give the impression, because they know that, blacks are a bit foolish. Once you say, they say, maybe people are not, but of course we know that 100%, including even some saboteurs we know, they are all praying for Biafra to come through IPOB, through Nnamdi Kanu. They tell me, people come, I hold meetings and they tell me that even some of them are very jealous because they're not as popular as we are. Some of them are jealous because people don't love them the way they love me. Some of them are jealous because no matter how hard they try, they can never be us. We are chosen. We are special. Anything we touch turns into gold. If that doesn't attract, did Moses not attract enemies and jealousy?
There are so many.
And then who am I?
Oh, okay.
Even Yeshua that came, was a good man, did nothing wrong. Did they not hate him? Did Judas, one of his disciples, followers, not betray him?
Okay.
Okay. Talk less of myself, who is a mere mortal. Please, let us have a break.
Jesus Christ have only 12 disciples, and he has one.
As somebody said, these are computer-generated abokis and so, but they don't exist. Most of them don't. Easy generation. They go and they key in on the computer. They pick one name. Go to their profile pictures. Go and check them. If it is somebody like Noreta Onochi, I can understand. Because from before the war, these are people that were abused by Fulani soldiers during the war. These are victims of rape during the war, and they were converted into serving Fulani. That's the way it is. Because you cannot come and, as a man, as a grown-up man, you go to the north, the guys go to a boxer shot, they razzle you in the north. After razzling you, they give you governor. Why won't you be loyal to them? Because as you said, if you make noise, they bring out the picture of you and one Omaru like that in a hotel in Sokoto, where they were uselessing you. So you understand, these idiots are bound to be there. And I thank you very much, my dear brother, for the perspective you have brought to our program this very morning. Thank you very much. Somebody saying we should stay here until 12. And I'm thinking, no, it's not going to be possible. It is not possible. We have another caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me? Your name and where you're calling from, please, if you may. I have a caller on the phone. This caller, can you hear me? No, they can't. I have another caller on the phone. Can this caller hear me? You can hear me, please. Give us your name and where you're calling from, please. This is absolutely crazy. It is not working. Our lines are once again jammed. We are going over to Skype. Once it does this, what I do is I turn it off. And then let us try and see if it will work. The caller on the... Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. They cannot follow up. It is not possible. Not possible. Not possible. Not possible. Let us see again. Yes. Can you hear me? The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Please. Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah. Okay. My name is PCS Asro. I'm living in Warsaw, Poland. I'm an economist.
Oh, you're an economist in Warsaw, in Poland. Are you part of our family?
Because we want to open the family.
Open it, please. Open it. Open it,
okay.
Please. Yes.
Yeah, because we're organizing it with some doctors.
Wonderful.
In Warsaw, in Poland. I'm
Wonderful.
thankful to meet you, and I've been calling for a long time because we want to register it in Warsaw. But I've been calling. I won't get to you. I thank you for what you are doing, and I want God to bless you for what you are doing. And the only thing I want to say this morning, I'm happy that you are alive for us and be telling us the truth and be preaching the truth. And the truth will set us free. And people who doesn't want to hear, they will hear. The people who doesn't want to understand, they will understand. That is the only thing, because you are the only person who enlighten us to tell us what is going on in that contraption called Nigeria, because we doesn't know. People there doesn't know. We are the ones who making that place to be vibrant. A lot of people are saying that, oh, this and that and this. Oh, you doesn't know what you are saying. Please, right now,
we don't know what we are saying. That their fathers were there and Babangida took Ndidi from Bongo Sikwe, took her to Dodam Barracks, took her to Mina until she died. Useless niggers who cannot listen very well.
And the one thing again I want to say about a place called Igodo.
Please go ahead.
Please. Because my grandfather is almost 94 years. And he told me that there is something they call Aga Idu Noba. Chief Obaru, Obosi, Onecha. Idemili Ihala. All of them is from that Igodomingo.
Stop there, because I spoke to Benjamin Imadububu the other day, and he was telling me, this was the person that I went to prison with, and he was telling me that he was laughing and telling me that is something he wanted to tell me before, but he doesn't know how to say it. I said, what is it? He said, do you know that Ihiala is from Edo, Igodomigo?
Yeah, because I'm from Ehala, I'm from Umweza.
You see.
I'm from Ehala. Uru, we call Uru, Abo, all these places, Abo, we are from there, from Igodomi, from that Benin city. That is from that Igodomi. That is where, if you see, that's why I know we go Amara. We dance Amara. With that song, you see that Abo Benin are holding. That is what we are using to dance. And one thing again, the war drove people from that place to settle us in those areas you see now. They're called Ehala, Ozobolo, Newi. That is where all those people came from. They call it Aga Idu Noba. That is the fight.
Oh, between the Idu and Oba people. Oba,
that is Idu
my
Noba.
goodness.
Idu no.
Aga Idu Noba, the war between Idu people and the Oba.
Oba people, that is it. That is those people that Oba of Benin who came drive the Idu people, the people who own the land. Because if my grandfather want to pray, we say Chukwe, Chukwe Diama, Chukwe, and my village is Omwa Chukwu.
You see?
My own village is from Omwa Chukwu. And means that they are children of God. That's why we have to look into that Igodo. We have to see.
It is the key. It is the key. I believe it is the key.
Because that is where they drove everybody away. That is where the killings comes, everybody running away, start scattering and going to deep to Abia State, Imo State. That is where, because that place is the place Onitsha go away. Because if you've seen that Onitsha, Ubo, Asava, all those places, and they have that Igbo's name, but they are denying they are not Igbo. I don't even understand why the thing is like that. That is one thing I'm happy that you are enlightening us and they're telling us what is happening. And another thing I want to say, why all these people rose up against you? Do you know that? No. It's because of they doesn't know you. And after the lockdown, what you did, you now bring food to give every community in Biafra land. That is where the jealousy starts.
From the palliative, I shared people.
That is where the jealousy starts. Because they never knew. They didn't see it coming. And they never think about it. And after they see that, that is where you see that Nigerian government and the saboteurs, they start coming up and start doing all this rubbish they are doing. I don't even think they know what they are doing. Because they don't know how many we are. We are many. We are uncountable. They can't stop us. That is what I want to tell you this morning.
Thank you very much for giving us this the here. This area Idu Noba. Yeah, was where a lot of things started from. And you see, slowly we are now opening that key. Do you see that key?
Anybody you ask that question, you will know. Agidu Noba, Agidu Noba. Any old person knows this. Agidu Noba, Agidu Noba. It happens. That is where we scatter. That is where the problem is. That's why we doesn't look back again there. Seeing our brothers living there. That's why we didn't look back and leave them like that.
But what I'm asking is, why was it that we had historians, all these great historians, professor this, professor that, why couldn't they do what we mere mortals are doing today? You and I, our sisters, our brothers from Igodomigodo land. Why is it that our people that went before us, why couldn't they do this very thing that we're doing today?
Yeah, because I have an uncle. My uncle is living in Abo side, and Abo. You know, if these kids come, my nephew, my cousins, they come back, they will be talking that they are not our brothers. They are not our brothers. But they are speaking Igbo, but they would be saying in this way.
It was what the Fulanis told them after the war, yes, after their conquest,
you know. After the conquest.
After the conquest, right. Yes.
Yeah, they are doing that, but now they are realized that we are the same. We are speaking the same language.
So somebody wrote here, Onitsha Ado na Idu. Is that correct? Well, yes. Does that make any sense to anybody? Onitsha Ado na Idu. Onitsha
Ado is Onitsha Ado. Yes, now Onitsha Ado is from there. Onitsha came from there. Asaba came from there. Ahaba Ibokwe. All of them came the same place. Let them not think that because Ohimiri Niger, Ohimiri Ghana,
Ohimiri Obaro, yes, Ohimiri, a river that swallows a river. And there's another thing. Yes, let me tell hold on, my God, but I want to tell people this very funny story. It's not funny, it's actually true. Yes. Do you know, I am from Ibeku, and Ibeku, people do not fight Ohafia people. Ohafia people do not fight Ibeku people. So I was asking the elders, why is that the case? You see where we have the tower today in Onwaya, which is like the central place, where you have the post office in Onwaya, that tower. That was where, in fact, at Ordinarian we call it, that was where Ohafia people camped on their way to where they are living today. Ibeku hosted them. So I kept asking them, where did this Ohafia people, where were they coming from? They said they're coming from present-day Delta, from Anioma, they are coming from there. But nobody, and I've been searching and I'm asking, where is it that Ohafia came from? From where? From where? It is only, even somebody is now writing now, that Ohafia people came from Idu as well. But the reason why I know is because Ohafia camped in Ibeku. before they continue. So if you listen to Ohafia war dance, when they are singing their song, you will hear about the relationship between Ohafia and Ibegu, that they are one. And the reason why they will say that Ohafia and Ibegu are one was because Ibegu hosted Ohafia, housed them there before they moved on to go and meet the Chagan people and fought their way in to settle where Ohafia is today. So they are warriors. So what I'm thinking is Ohafia not the remnants of the Idu warriors that maybe lost out to the Oba and then migrated down to our side?
Thank you very much. That is the same people. And the one thing I want to tell you again about Onitsha people never call you. They will call you Nwonyi Igbo. They are calling me Nwonyi Igbo. You understand what is going on now?
Yeah, I do.
They are calling us Nwonyi Igbo. They say that they are not an Igbo, but they are Nwonyi Igbo. That is what they are doing. But now the narrative starts changing. The narrative starts changing. Yeah, but before, Nwonyi Igbo, if you didn't get any more, if you went to Onitsha inside indigenous, you are Nwonyi Igbo. You are not they will call you Nwonyi Igbo. They will not call themselves an Igbo. They call themselves as Onitsha. The same way this Anoma and all these people are doing, that is the same way they are still doing. But now the narrative have already changed.
Now, but I will tell you why. Because as I said before, and I keep saying it, any day our people understand this, then we are home and dry. There were ancient people living there who are called the Igbo people. The rest are migrants. There were ancient people in Igbo, they were living there already. As I have explained time and time again. And then the rest came. But in a manner of speaking, we are all Igbo people. And I will tell you why we are Igbo people. The same thing happened to the house of Israel. And anytime I am lost or anything, I go back to the scriptures and I keep studying and I keep researching. And the inspiration will come. Do you understand? Do you know the reason why they call Israelites Jews all over the world?
Yeah.
They call everybody is a Jew. The reason why everybody is a Jew was because Judea had special blessing from God. And Judea brought the brother Benjamin, the little brother Benjamin. And God said in the house of Judea will the capital emerge from, which is Jerusalem. Now, as a result of how popular Jews, the house of Judah was, and the blessing they received, everybody, including those in Samaria, Samaria is the north, including those, remember that after the death of Solomon, they said to your tent, O Israel. So the land divided into two, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. The northern kingdom started to worship Baal. The north said they wanted to, I'm trying to tell them the Omenala, all these people, I just want to give them this very simple analogy. Now, just a simple enlightenment. We're not calling with anybody, just enlightenment. When, after the death of Solomon, and they said to your tent, O Israel, and the kingdom divided into two, the north and the south. Now listen to this jealousy. We have a lot in common with Israelites. The same behavior. Now, those in the north said, how can we be coming to the south all the time? Coming to the house of the Lord to bring booty, to bring cow, to bring goat, to bring sheep, to be sacrificing. Why don't we build our own in the north? See that jealousy came in. Why don't we also build our own in the north? Now, what did they do? They went and molded golden calves. Do you remember? They went and molded golden calf in the north. So they now say to the Samaritans, why don't you go to our own place? Don't go to Jerusalem. You are making the house of Judea very big. By going to Jerusalem, you are authenticating the whole that the house of Judea has upon everybody. And now the northern kingdom fell. But no matter how many times that Jerusalem fell in the house of Judah, there was always a way to rebuild it. People kept coming regardless. To tell people that when you are blessed, the same way, despite all the jealousy and envy from the northern kingdom against against Judea, eventually, when the Babylonians came and took them into slavery, finally, that they now regretted in 1948, everybody became a Jew. They no longer ask you if you're from the northern kingdom or from the southern kingdom. They don't want to know if you're from the house of Manasseh, if you're from the house of Ephraim, if you're from the house of whoever. All of you are now Jews, which derive from the word Judea. Do you understand? The same thing with Igbo. The Igbos are blessed. They are highly, highly blessed. Whoever comes to them must adopt their identity and their name. If you come to them, that is the reason why everybody became Igbo. Everybody. If you migrated from Egypt all the way down, if you migrated coming from the Afar region of Ethiopia through the Cameroons, the mother, and all the way down, once you enter that land, once the influence of that land is upon you, you become Igbo. That's what I want people to understand. It's something that happened to Israel and to Judah.
Let me give you one contribution again. I'm sorry, please. There is one thing I want to say. Igbos are very, very talented people, but there is one thing they lack into. Look at what our people are doing. Do we go to North and go and build a house, build a hotel, build a plaza, build mansions, do estate, develop their place? Look at what our Igwe or chiefs are doing to us. To them, to bring the people to develop the village, they went to go and bring the cattle rearers and give them land, sell land 100,000 to them to be living in our land, and live to bring the people who will develop our place.
My brother, if you think about it, you go mad. This thing you're saying now, if you sit down and you think about it, you will go mad. We leave our towns, we leave our land and go and build hotel in Jalingo. Then a Janjaweed from Jalingo will not come to our village and take over our village. And
you want to the way the thing look like is like he want to come and start a business. He bring cattle and build tents. There is no development, and we are developing their place, and they are conquering us in a way. And our chiefs are doing this. Is quite
astonishing. Very, 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 very sad indeed. My dear brother, I thank you for your call. I thank you for your call. You're very kind.
I thank you, and God will bless you for that, and the work you are doing. Please continue. The strategies you are using is very, very
of course.
And that is what God will do. I'm very, very happy to speak with you this morning.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you very much.
And Poland should be very, very strong. We have doctors. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mazi.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Ike Patrick Dike, and I'm calling from Italy.
Italy. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, Mazi, thank you very much for your effort. You really dedicated enough time for our people. This your question and answer program is another opportunity for our people to interact with you directly, which is the leadership that is lacking in the zoo. First of all, is the same leadership that is lacking in every other person that is claiming to be a Biafran agitator. There is no other leader that holds conversation with their people on a weekly basis. So it goes a long way. Why is it that people are following you? Because you listen to them, you interact with them. Majority of the people today who are jumping left, right, center like monkeys does not even give opportunity for interaction. Even when you counter them on Facebook or social media, they block you because you have a divergent view. So, Mazi, thank you for your humility. Thank you for your disposition to our people. And I also want to, tell you that the people, forget about the few enemies. The one the enemies, we see them every day. They come on Facebook to come and try to tarnish your image. They want to tell us that you are a scammer. They say all sorts of things without even any evidence to show for it. And, for me, the more they try to rubbish your name, the more they promote you. Mazi, I want you to know that your armies are on standby. Your armies are waiting for your command. Not the joke. So all the people that are trying to detract, the movement and the things you are doing are being eaten up with envy and jealousy. Because they cannot do what you are doing. They can't even hold simple conversations. So I'm from Anioma myself. I heard my sister who called in and talked about the people of Anioma in Delta State.
Yes.
I've always told people, my struggle for Biafra restoration is to correct the mistakes of my grandfather, who is the father of my mom, who is from Ishan in Edo State.
Wow.
Because I transferred from Edo to Delta. My dad married an Asian woman, and today I'm a normal person. But I have my lineage in Asian in Edo State.
Yes.
And during the Civil War, my own grandfather, which is the father of my mom, had to reach a pact, a kind of agreement with the king of Ubuluku to make sure that the Biafran soldiers do not, harm, or the Biafrans do not harm her daughter, because she was on the side of the Nigerian forces. So there was this.
Say that to Obolowea. Sorry, Obolowea.
Ubuluku in Delta State.
So there is Ubuluku in, listen, there is Ubuluku in Delta State and there is Oboloisuzo in Anambra. Can you hear exactly what we are saying? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And inside Ubuluku, you have Onichuku, you have Onichokwe. Inside Ubuluku, you have Abonta, you have Abontu Mwazoma. These are all Igbo names.
Unbelievable.
In Ubuluku, we have the